Welcome to Four Collectors.
What is up, people? Welcome to the Four Collectors channel. Look at this group I got right here. We got Mike Goldilocks Petty. We got
there, Rubberneck. They call me Fruitcake.
New Rock TV. Everybody's got their drinks on today. Oh yeah, the Yankees don't have one of these. What happened? What happened?
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Lou.
It is my pleasure. I'm going to try to figure out this microphone thing, but if not, I'll try to switch to my cell phone later.
Well, thanks for it's funny because I was thinking about getting a mic. What do you got there, Pepper Man?
I got my jersey. You can go ahead and put on your Misfits jersey too, New Rock. Oh, you guys don't have one?
Oh, look at
no,
that
we're
thing.
too cool.
That thing fits you skin tight.
Yeah, I gotta do like 10 crunches so I can fit in it better.
That's funny. But yeah, so you're gonna try to figure the mic out on our time, huh? You couldn't have done that with Pepino last week.
Well, I mean, I did get a call super late. I'm not even on the thumbnail. So what are you talking about?
But you know what? You sound beautiful. The new Lou. I mean, you sound like Isaac Hayes. Hello, brother.
I tried.
Anyway, that's nice of you to join us tonight. I've always wanted to crash your guys' party. I mean, when you guys go off, and you know I'm always in the chat, you never invite me on. So I thought the least I could do is reach out to a misstep.
All right, so today, guys, we're gonna talk hobby, man. Do you guys have, in particular yourselves, any topics? Because I got a few topic questions I wrote down just so we can. Yeah, you know me, I like to freestyle. But
I'll freestyle. So why don't I talk a little bit about the West Card Show to start off with?
Yeah, you went to the card show this weekend. How was that, man? I didn't get a chance to go.
I did. Yeah, so I went in on Friday, totally blew off work. Told them that I couldn't see working, my eyes were hurting. And there's if so, fatso, drove into the show, met a buddy of mine. And the nicest guy, he ended up helping me out with getting us in early. So that was nice. And started showing me some pictures of cards. And I had some cards that I brought there because he's talked me into doing reholders with PSA, if you can imagine. You know how I'm anti-grading, not wanting to give them anything. But my cards are just so old and beat up, I have to have new plastic for them. I want to dress them. I want to dress up a pig a little with a nice holder. You know what I mean?
And for people that don't know, I mean, if you've seen my Instagram, I posted a few pictures of some very awesome cards. They belong to Mr. Mike Petty and the Card Breakers. But I gotta say, man, like I'm very impressed not only by your collection, but all your slabs look great. I don't understand how some people have slabs that just look like, you know, they've been through hell and they're all scratched. Yours all look well taken care of, man. I don't know how.
I use a polish when I get them in the mail. I polish them, spit them up with a spittoon.
Spit on that thing.
I spit on them. I file them. I have some special sandpaper. I get all the nicks out.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to use the Kurt juice on the card, not the slab.
I get you. But you know, it makes a big difference. So we don't like the slabs and what they're doing. We obviously need PSA, we need SGC, we need these companies, you know. It's just that we're just so sick of seeing some of these grades and some of the chicanery that's going on around the hobby and stuff. We want them to do better. And like I mentioned on Jeremy Lee last week, they just don't care. You know, I mentioned the bell curve. You have like any big company, and then all the shit goes off to the side. They don't care about it. They only focus.
Yeah, so what are your guys' opinions, both of you guys, on the new PSA grading scale where a 10 now has to actually be a 10? The horror.
Go ahead, Lou.
Well, honestly, I mean, to me, mint was top of the line growing up. I'm like, shoot, this card is mint. So a Gem Mint 10 was always something that was manufactured to me. But a gem mint 10, if it's a 10, the card gotta look like a 10. The 60/40 variance was way too much for me. It was
I
just
agree.
I don't think PSA could predict how big their company was going to be or how much it will affect the hobby. And I know there's a lot of disappointed collectors, investors, because now they're 10s. That's the first thing I'm going to do. If I see a PSA 10, I'm going to be like, bro, this is a 9. I mean,
Absolutely, and it should have been a
I'm
9
always
from the
looking to get
get-go.
cars cheaper. I'm
A
always looking
gem
for
mint
so
isn't a gem mint centered. I mean, it's gem mint, meaning it's perfect,
perfect.
and that means there's no, wiggle room. It's not
Yeah,
55.
you know
Ask
what? But
Dylan.
I feel like it's something that should have been done from the beginning.
A
A
long time
PSA
ago.
10 should have been flawless. You know what I mean? That's what I didn't
Yeah,
get. Like when like say when Beckett came out with the black label, I was like,
Yeah.
a 10 should always be a black label. You
Yeah.
shouldn't
You
have
beat
to
me
say,
to it.
oh,
Yeah.
this is a 10, but it's a real 10. You
Yeah.
know?
Pristine.
Yeah.
no doubt. I mean, let's face it. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, as you know, it doesn't really affect me because I don't have 110 in my collection. I was just thinking about it the other day and looking.
Oh, your
I
collection
have
sucks then.
you saw it. I mean, I couldn't believe. So for those that don't know, Pepino came over one day. How was that wind out here during the fire season?
Oh, it was crazy windy, and
Crazy,
I
bro.
sat right across where he's at right now, and looked through his slabs, and man, I got to tell you,
And then
woo,
we went in the
man, that
living room and
collection,
opened up those
yeah.
boxes in there, and you went through everything, my autographs, balls.
Not
It
only
was
that, but you know what I do regret is that we got a little tipsy too early, and I didn't get a chance to ride around in your Trans-American.
that transamagram is quite.
He's
It
got a
was loud.
badass Trans Am, dude, and we were supposed to go for a ride, but we were a little bit too drunk by that time. By the time he took me to
At least we started it up though. It was fun. Yeah. So anyway, the car. Let's talk the card show. So we meet this guy in the lot. We're having some breakfast in the morning, but meeting about 8 o'clock in the morning there. And we got these cards out. I'm trying to tell him, should I really send all these or give all these to PSA today? It's going to be like $800 for 10 cards. I think I ended up giving him 12 cards. It was like $1,000 altogether. And then I have to pick him up next week, and I'm going, fuck. I mean, I don't really know if it's worth it or not, but he does it all the time. He says it's just part of the game, and got to do it. And I agree with them. I mean, the cards could use
You
a
agreed
little bit
with
of a.
somebody in the hobby? Woo!
Yeah, I'm very
Oh, hell's
agreeable.
freezing over. The
Yeah,
Eagles
yeah.
tours are over.
I mean, I didn't want to give PSA the money in the light of everything, but I did. So we got in there early. And this guy comes up to us and says, "Hey, we've seen you on YouTube, and you've had a big impact. You and especially midlife crisis and the shows he's doing on teaching me on how to get into the hobby. He's starting a collection the last couple of months, and he wanted to thank me, and he shook our hands and everything. It was pretty neat. But then he shows me, he says, and I'm looking to buy like one card maybe today. He shows me a card, and would you believe it's the same card that yours truly was looking at? And I said, huh, that's a nice card. I'm wondering where he had the price quoted down, and now that was the bottom line of the price. He knew the dealer. I'm going, how do after you know this guy already? Lou, did we turn your mic off?
No,
That's
no, they're
just a
making
joke.
fun of me because they're like, you're never gonna get a word in. I think they are.
Well, that's why we want you here. We just need you here for the good looks and the backward hat. That's all. I'm gonna run
Yeah,
with this story.
lose the eye candy.
So I'm just gonna show you, cut right to the chase with the story. So he basically said, this is the card I want to buy. I go, yeah. I said it's a beautiful card. I said I don't know if you're gonna actually get that card or not. I said there's a couple I know down the street here, a little might want that. But anyway, he ended up getting in the show at the same time. I went into the show there, talked, and I actually had a couple of cards to trade. I made a deal. He said the card will be here in a couple hours. I gave him my cards, and he said come back with the money later. I go, okay, deal's over. So the guy got shut out. I feel bad that I figured I've been in this hobby longer than you, buddy. I'm gonna get this card. So He comes back to us though later, which I thought was really nice of him. And he said, "Look what I picked up." And I got to tell you, this was a new card. So this is my modern versus vintage rant kind of. It actually made my heart skip a beat. It was so nice. It was a 2018 tops of some kind. I don't know. It might have had a name. I don't know. But it was a Satchel Paige cut auto in the card. It had a price tag of like $3,000 on it, So it
Right,
was not
Transcendent or something.
maybe I don't know. I don't think it, or maybe it did, but I don't know. The way it was cut was he had his leg kick, and then the autograph was just perfect. It wasn't cut off. It was a bright pen. He had a line underneath it. I mean, it was a 10 autograph. I don't think it was graded 10, but I'm telling you, I said, dude, I go, this is one of the nicest autographs, and forget the card, the autograph card that I've ever seen. I've seen millions with you talk about anything, you name them. This thing was badass. So
Yeah, it's about the auto, not the card.
Do
I
you
mean,
know what it
really,
was from? Like, do you know where it was from? Like, was it from a check or anything, like in particular?
Contract,
I really
index
don't know.
card.
No, I don't. But it was like a creamish colored. It might have been an index, or it was a nice, thick piece, and the way it was just so tastefully done. His leg kick up there, right, and then the autograph just.
So wait, you left it?
I didn't leave. He got it. He
Oh, I
bought
thought
that
you.
instead of the
Okay.
card. Well, here's the card I got. So you might want to get ready for this little drum roll.
Oh,
Oh,
mother trucker.
This was the
man.
card he was going to get. I said, "Oh no, you're not,
That's
Fatso.
so
There's a
ridiculous, bro.
fatter kid on the block, and his
I,
name
I like
is
it in that
Mike
slap
Petty."
too, man.
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
look
Damn
good in
it.
the SBC.
it looks really great.
That's sick.
Has some, print lines here and a little print, but I mean, it's fairly
Low
nicely
eye
centered. The
appeal.
color, no,
Very
very
low
low,
eye
perfect
appeal.
for me. I mean,
Where's
Steven loves it.
PH
I
at?
know he's
There's
here.
Steven
I
with the
don't care,
PH.
dude. That to me, that card has a 10 boner appeal to me.
Right,
Damn, look at that
it is
baby.
pretty nice.
A
And then
10 boner appeal.
the other thing that happened to me was the guy that I was with. He had
That's
a stack of
sick.
cards that he was going to trade for. He ended up. I mean, dude, if he's got eyes for eights, he's Mister Eight. He saw this Duke Snyder. I think it was like a 1949. Is that his rookie card, uh, or is it
Penny
48?
don't play.
For the Duke?
I'm not sure. But anyway, this card was just so it was badass. It was a PSA 7. He loves PSA. He had a stack of cards that he was given to Ash, and he said, "I'm going to try to trade this, straight up." And he says,
Swing.
I had a
Golly.
I had a PSA 4 Satchel Paige that I had, like one of the first cards I bought. Dude, it was so off center. It was terrible. It was a terrible 4. Talk about low eye appeal, right?
I'll take an off
He
center
said he
satchel.
looks at it and he said, "I have one that I'm going to trade." He says, "I want to upgrade it," and he says, "I'll just trade you mine straight up." I go, "You'll trade it straight up?" I go, "It was a 4 for a 4, and then I didn't have to pay to have mine reholdered, because frankly, you could have that reholdered in like a gold nugget and it would still look like shit."
What was that, the 50?
But his card looked great, and this was the card that we traded, which was just beautiful. Look at this thing. It's almost as nice as Mike at the what's his name, the Jukebox Hero.
Yeah, Mike Clark Zero.
Yeah, he's got
Bro.
that beautiful like 2 that looks like a 7, but this one.
So
And
what
he wants
did
to
the
upgrade.
signature that you were looking at, did it say Satchel Paige or was it his real name?
Oh no, it said Satchel Paige.
That's
sick.
crazy. How did he officially have it changed, like officially to Satchel? Because that was
I don't
really his
know.
nickname, right?
He always signed that way though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Satchel was actually his nickname. But who knows,
when I
back then,
collected-
probably just roll with it.
I always wanted one of his autographs, when I collected autographs. I just never got that far. I was just, I was into Mantle and more of the golden age. By the time I got to the Clementes,
Yes.
the Ruths,
So Mike,
Yeah, that's-
Satchels, I quit.
Mike, I'm confused. So you had a 4 off centered, and he had that
Terrible.
4. Did you
Yeah.
put anything on top of it, or you
No,
just
because he says, "I'm just going to turn it into Ash anyway." He doesn't give a shit. He basically just turned it in anyway.
So he helped you out as a friend,
He
and then
helped
he's
me out
going
as a
still.
friend. He goes, "Look," he goes, "this one," and I said, "Why are you getting rid of this?" He said he wants to upgrade it because he's
Okay.
got a beautiful. He's got like he bought a 49 page that was, I mean, literally, if
That
you
baby
could
blue
shave
is
with
sick.
it, you could. It was so nice that I guess look next to this one, he couldn't take it, so
Yeah, that's
he was going
great,
to
man.
trade it.
So some people are saying that we should use my boner scale for cards, but that's the problem. That's how PIG grades.
Yeah, I do,
Pepino did from
baby.
his grading company. Is if a card gives me 90%, it's a 9. If a card gives me, 100%, it's a 10. But unfortunately, all cards give me 100%. So I give all
So
cards a
everything's
10,
a 10.
man.
It's a 10. You get a 10 and you get a 10. Hey, did you guys hear about Mike Baker, the Mike Benner authentication guy with
The,
the
the
gold
sticker
label,
guy.
the sticker guy? He's starting
Yeah.
his own grading company, right? Did you hear that?
Oh, I didn't know he was starting a grading company.
Grading. He's already got slabs out there. They're on the market. What do you guys think about that? Another grading guy. And this guy, don't forget. I don't know if you guys know or not. You might know Pepino, but he was the head guy at
Yeah.
GAI Global when they
Yeah,
tanked.
that old one that ripped everybody out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with his name on all those certificates of all those like million fake autographs, and you ask him, well, how did that happen? And he says they were stolen.
Yeah.
Like that's his big thing. And he used the same excuse last night on his stickers. Now their stickers
Yeah.
are showing up, and he's saying they're stolen. Like everybody wants to steal his stickers,
Yeah.
his certificates. But anyway, he gets a fresh start, and he gets a new life in the hobby.
I don't know.
And
I mean,
those stickers. Anyway,
I mean, I think he had a good racket going on with the stickers because he's just looking at other people's grades and saying, that's great eye appeal. Here's a gold sticker. To get into this, I mean, you got some heavy hitters who aren't, if you're not SGC or PSA, I mean, Beckett has the name and the history. They're not making it. CSG, luckily they have Pokemon and comic books and the best slab in the game that looks like glass. They're third, but like I said, they're only afloat because of Pokemon. I don't know how Baker's sticker guy is gonna get into this market. I mean,
and the funny thing here
Arena Club is trying to get in and they're having trouble, and that's with
is,
Jeter
are
behind
they?
them.
I never
Yeah.
knew what the hell Arena Club even does. But
Nah.
so here's the kicker: he'll only put a silver sticker on his own slab. So here he's going to grade it, right? So let's say it gets a 7. If it's high eye appeal, he'll put a silver sticker on it for who knows, for extra or what. Only, no gold. So like now he's still going to put these stickers.
So yeah,
It's like
that's
people
not
like him though. I mean, he does have a following. His cards are with those stickers are getting more money. So
that's
yeah,
ridiculous
Mangini says
though.
eye
Like,
appeal stickers are like a pet rock. He's so like, why do we need this guy to tell us it's got high eye appeal? I mean, really, are people that effing stupid?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
And on Jeremy Lee's show, you couldn't ask him that or anything last night, like how stupid it is because I was already kicked off there once. I don't want to get kicked off again.
Yeah, see, man, yeah, man. What a shame. Where's freedom of speech in the hobby, man?
I like Jeremy, but he's a PSA guy. He's a graded guy.
Well, you saw that he called out PSA the night that I was on. Cage called in. Cage, the lawyer, the guy that he's got 20 sponsorships, and he says, "Oh, you're just saying that because you're a tag guy." And Jeremy's divested from.
Is that why he posted that post talking about that he works with Tag or he has money invested in Tag?
He
But
had some money, but they're not even a sponsor anymore. But I think he has, he originally put some money in with him. But I mean, I don't think Jeremy was going. He wasn't out of line. I mean, he was just saying what everybody else was. And you're right. Look. We're all PSA guys. We don't want to see them fail. At one time, I thought I did, but I don't want to see them fail. But
I do not want to see them fail. But it is what it is. Right now, I mean, because of influencers, PSA is king. You know what I mean? That's like I don't really care too much about grading, but just being an outside person looking in, PSA is king. That's what That's what all the influencers go for.
It's super simple to say they're king because I've never seen, and only in the baseball card world or sports card world, where you can bitch and bitch and bitch about a company, tell them they're stealing us blind, they're robbing us, they messed up my cards, this and the other, and the following week they're sending another 100 cards to that company.
And
I hear
that's a
it
lot
all
of
the
money.
time. People ranting about PSA, but hopefully this one will come back better.
Fingers
Hopefully
And
these
crossed.
just to show
return
you
better.
how effed up the hobby is, right? Nobody hates them and gives them more shit than I do. I'm like on John, but here I am marching in with 12 big cards, into the show, giving them $1,000 to
That's all you
rehold
do.
them.
If all your cards are big, are they really that big?
Well, they're not. They're big. I mean, they were tall boys. They were big. I tell you. No, but I mean, they were good. Maybe $1,000 plus. And I don't want to send those through the mail.
Oh heck no.
I mean,
Dude.
so I figure I give it to them, I pick them up, and still I'm nervous. I'm still apprehensive. You know what that means? That means I'm scared with a college education.
With that vernacular
The
game
vernacular.
tight.
Yeah, I'm scared. But yeah,
Yeah.
so anyway.
So what? So what would you call eye appeal?
Real
What's
eye
your guys'
appeal?
definition of eye appeal?
Go ahead, Lou. What do you say?
Honestly, it's one of those things when I see it, I know it. Like for instance, I've been looking for a Larry Doby autograph honestly for over a year. A lot of things go into it, especially an autograph. And
Yeah.
last week, I showed it on my channel yesterday, today. I forgot when I uploaded it, but it was one of those things. I saw it, I hit buy it now. It's just one of those
Beautiful.
things. I mean, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, to be corny. It's just everyone has something different, because a card that I'm in love with, Dylan's gonna look at it and be like, nah, bro. Like I said, that cat said, I'm not making it up. He was not drunk. He said he went to the National. There was only 2 centered cards, and he bought both of them.
In the whole
In the
show.
whole place? In the whole
And how
place?
does he
He said he
determine it?
looked
Does
at
he
every
put your-
table. He only found 2 centered cards, and he bought both of them. That's what he said. Ask anyone in the house. And he said it with a straight face.
Because you know what? I don't doubt it that he's probably right. He has either some tool or he has some eye that is really in tune
Yeah.
to that, even if it's just a fraction,
Yeah.
of 1
It's-
millimeter. He
I
can
would love
tell.
to have I would love to have Dylan's vision, because it's probably like RoboCop or something. You see the squares where you can see center.
Like RoboCop. But it's
What
one of those
Bobby
things
term?
you really can't explain it. When you see a card, you just gravitate to it. I did it with my mini Monoso, my 52 tops. I was looking for one, and when the one I bought I was like, that's it. It's like the perfect world. The card was great. The price was great. The timing was great because I had the money available.
Right.
So, everything almost collides at the same time.
And these cards, so obviously the signed cards right now are the biggest thing. And I think in the vintage world, it's never been bigger. It's been really on an upward trajectory for the last 2 to 3 years now. One of my pet peeves, first, I'll never collect the on-card autos like that because I just think they're out of hand. Will they go up? Most definitely, because people love the young kids. If they're going to collect vintage, they may gravitate towards those. But my pet peeve, just like yours, is what's eye appeal. I got to be able to see the fucking autograph.
Yeah.
I can't have it either smudged or
Across the
there's
face.
there's not a big sweet spot on every card.
Yes.
To me, the sweet spot is over the crotch. That's the sweet spot.
Some of it, but even then,
Well,
it could be dark.
So do you guys consider, like, in the eye appeal, like, say someone writes it in black ink, but there's black parts on the card, so maybe you can't read their whole signature?
I gotta see the entire thing, and then they
Right?
put 10s on that. I saw. So here, I've been judging Mickey Mantle autographs for over 20 years in a blink of an eye. I'm looking at some guy's autograph. Now, I haven't seen any fakes on cards, but the guy has a card of Mickey Mantle, and it's one of the nicest effing signatures I've ever seen. And it gets a 9. There's no, slipping of the Sharpie anywhere. It's not light. It's not smudged. And it's perfectly stacked in the sweet spot. Like, even on the bottom, it was a 1960 is what it was. And when he did the autograph, it came perfect to where it should have been. I mean, literally, It didn't go below the line or anything. It was like right on the, and they give it a 9. I'm going like, why are you grading the frickin' autograph? First of all, why does that matter? It was the
Yeah.
nicest autograph I ever. If that doesn't get a 10, and so let me show you what I like to do. Like, look at this.
Ooh, look at the bananas.
Yeah, those aren't bananas. Those are real. Unfortunately, those are real bananas. And let me show you something with the bananas. All right, let me get
He
this out
changes
here.
his auto. James was showing me that. Hey, anyone who says Mike,
Look at that boner. Woo, that's a
Hey.
10 right
If
there.
that's a Pepino boner right there.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's a 10 boner grade right there.
You're not getting that on a card. That is
You're
a
not.
type something on a photo. I don't know what photo it is, but it's in, this is a photocopy. The real one's upstairs. Pepino, you went through them. You saw a lot of these, right?
Yeah,
But look
I
at that.
touched
You
them.
can tell.
I
Like,
did
right?
for some of you that asked. I
see
did
this?
fondle Mike Petty's balls.
Do you see this right here? You can't fake that. How that ink drops
Yeah.
there when he does that M, and then that
Yeah.
interaction there. How he's going, he's making that. They try to fake that, and then that he goes to the A, and a lot of times it's open. That pointy N on the mantle and the TLE where it trails off.
No, it looks good.
I mean, just a perfect
That's why I like
example.
those cut autos too. You could pick and choose your autos with those cuts because if
I
it's on an
always
index
said-
card, a contract, it looks good.
I always said
You know,
though,
hey.
cut autos. I'd rather have cold cuts than cut autos.
Hey, anyone who says Mike Petty is not a YouTuber because he doesn't have a YouTube channel is a lie. The guy has a ring light. He has a ring light. He's a YouTuber.
But you know what? It'll only last for 15 minutes. It's not very good. But look how I'm getting the good autographs. You see this thing? This is a freaking
That's dope.
magazine. This ain't no card. I mean, this is just some of the stuff that's on my wall. I'm showing you. Here's another one. I like Mickey Mantle, and this is with him and the Duke and the ring light. Like, see the ring light right
Duke
around?
of Flatbush.
Oh yeah.
The Duke of Ringbush.
Jinx Lou.
Nicky, number 7. Mickey Mantle, center field, number 7. Anyway, I always
that's sweet when they have all as much room where they can write freely. Because the ball is a little harder, man. It's so small. But you know what? You know which autograph I would want, and this is like no homo. But if you guys know Mickey Mantle, he used to draw the penis and balls when he would autograph some baseballs with his autograph. I would love to have one of those, man. I would love.
He wrote a lot of things. I mean, if you read
he would write anything you wanted him to.
Like fuck Yogi. He put a lot. Well, here's one here.
I would love to have one of those.
This will be the last one. But look at this thing. The Sports
Everyone's a Yankee fan.
And I don't know how big that one is. Not a 6-incher. But let's just measure it, shall we? Just for
come on.
6 inches is plenty big.
Well, if you give it to him,
it's not the size of the auto; it's the motion in the pen.
That's only 5 inches. Anyway, my point is, they look so much better on a photo. And look how he just knows right where to sign it. Boom.
He is great at signing. It's always legible. You can always see it. It's always in the best part of the picture, the card. He's pretty good with it.
He was great, even with the cards, a lot of them. But some of them, they don't show up as well. And that's my point. But whatever it is.
Too bad you can't see the comments, man, because these guys are killing it with the comments.
Well, so here, my buddy Tony over here, my buddy of mine, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, one of the guys want to know if you take into account girth of the auto as much as length.
Well, Sharpie versus ballpoint is what you're saying? Sharpie versus ballpoint? Yeah.
As somebody who's hung like a light switch, I approve the girth part.
Speak for yourself.
So, people want to know if your drapes match your carpet. You comb it like that? You got to be combing it like that all the time?
Actually, you know what? I mean, because you saw my hair, and I don't dye it. You can tell it has natural color, right? But and I don't really have gray anywhere. So I want to tell them about those cards. Imagine Tony standing in line for a Mickey Mantle autograph when he was a kid. He had the foresight to bring a card with him.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it was a real thing. I mean, and he's collecting them all. He'll probably have a run of every Mickey Mantle card. And frankly, if I didn't have as many, if I didn't have like 100 Mickey Mantle autographs, I
Which he
probably
does,
would.
dude. He does. I
Which
was surprised at how many Mickey Mantle autograph balls you had. You
and then
just
you
kept
didn't even
popping
see
them
all
out,
of
man.
them.
I was like,
I
God
had
damn
3
it,
of them in my office that you didn't see. Like they were behind
shoot,
me and over
man.
here. We never really
Dude, his
walked
whole
over there.
wall, like all those pictures are autographed, dude. It's like insane, dude. It
Like
was
here's one you didn't
intensity
see.
and
You didn't see this
intensity.
one. This is
Man,
a
Damn, bro,
nice
you're a
one.
Yankee fan through and
Look
through.
at that one.
I wonder how
Fakey
3D80's kid
Mantle.
is
And
in the background.
look at
If he,
this, how old this
he's like,
ball
this
is.
conversation is getting out of hand.
This is a Lee McPhail. This is an older ball. You see, these are
Oh,
hard. And
nice.
see how milky white the ball is? It's creamish. It's got no toning. I handpicked these out back in the day, but that's why I don't. You see again how I tried to tell you about that
Bro,
little
that
dot.
signature is
Dot.
beautiful. That's a
It
great
really,
signature.
I mean, it
That's a
really
great
is, and it's
looking one.
just one of my balls. I sit here in a glove. And here's one I'll show you that you didn't see, Pep. Whoops, sorry, I'm so close.
Sorry, Pastor
This
Craig.
is a Cadillac. I had this sign in person, and look how big this one is.
oh damn,
That's
yeah,
bold.
that's girthy. That's girthy right there.
It was an old ball. The autographs were removed, right? You can tell that it's kind of scuffed up. The autographs were removed, and because I thought it would be fun.
Ball.
It's a William Hardage. It's a
I was
ball
gonna say,
from
what
the
kind of ball is it?
60s.
Was it used?
William Hardage. No, it wasn't used. It wasn't used. It's white and nice, but it's
like it's been rubbed off.
they were professionally taken off. I bought the ball that way.
I like that.
don't
It's
ask me
white
why.
and nice.
Yeah.
It's white and nice, and then look at how big his signature is. Like goes
Dude,
that's
wraps it
girthy.
around the ball. It's girthy. He's Girth Brooks on that.
That's one of my regrets not picking a signed Mantle ball back in
I'll
the day.
take care of you, Lou. You know
No.
Mike Petty and the Card Breakers.
Nah, brother, you're good.
Oh,
I love you,
nothing.
but we're good.
All right, well, I'll trade it to you maybe
We're good, bro.
for a cut.
Wait. Keep on drinking. I like where this conversation is going. Keep on drinking, my friend.
Free balls for everybody.
Free balls for everybody.
Come on. If I could just be a misstep, I'll give everybody a free Mantle ball.
Somebody said that Greg Marino forged more Mickey Mantle balls than Mantle ever signed. That's not true, dude, because in the 80s, Mickey Mantle saved the hobby. All right. Mickey Mantle saved the hobby by doing shows at the malls and bringing that aspect of the hobby in. You know, you can look through old Beckett magazines. Like I have a lot of 80s Beckett magazine, and you'll see shows like, you know, hey, you know, Ted Williams is going to be here. Mickey Mantle's going to be here. Willie Mays going to be here. $20 an auto. You know what I mean? Like
at
for
one
signing.
time, though, they said that on eBay, even the family came out and said this, that 90% of the Mantle autographs on eBay were fake. 90.
Wow.
And I got burned when I started out buying autographs. That's how I said, I'm not going to get burned. I'm going to learn it. So
you got an STD from an autograph?
I got what?
You got an STD from an autograph?
Yeah, I said I'm not going to get burned by it. So
hey, the herpes.
Wrap it up.
But anyway, that's why I got ripped off. You know, it's starting out, bought fakes like everybody else with fake certs. And they said 90% of them were fake. I started learning them. And I've looked at hundreds of thousands. I can literally tell in a blink the fakes from the real at this point.
He did change his auto a little bit.
He did, definitely.
Especially early on, like his early on autos. There is a premium on those.
50s and the 60s. If you can get those old 50s and 60s, those are nice too, you know, in their own right. In pen usually. Like a nice big pen. Those are hard to get.
Well, it's funny too, because now that I'm getting more into autographs and learning more about it, I love the vintage guys with the ballpoint pen. Like opposed, like the new stuff with Sharpie, that's cool, but like I like the Bolígrafo, the nice ballpoint pen, blue ink. Look, it just looks classy.
You know what? Sharpies, Sharpies like in the 80s and 90s, they kind of had like a fatter head, and now
Yeah.
they have the Sharpie ones like almost like a pen.
True.
You know?
But you know what? One thing about
Fine tip.
well, here's the thing with the balls today, and even the photos and the ink they use on the pens, even the Bic pens, they will fade to blank. So in other words, they will go in or out of the sun. Like these, a lot of these balls that I'm showing you here, they're behind me here, and I get full sun into this room, right?
Hold
Pepino?
on. I gotta try to take a drink every time you say balls.
Balls.
Wait,
Okay,
how-
that's going to be hard.
So you have your ball, you have your balls out.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to come out, but
My balls are out. Look, can you see back there?
yeah, I
Look
see
at them.
them.
They'll be empty. And then I have a lot of.
You don't
them
have
in
like
storage.
blackout curtains. I got blackout
I do,
curtains.
but I also
Okay.
have like a little moon thing, and I don't care. These are balls that a lot of them. My point was, with the old ink and the old balls, they
Mhm.
don't fade nearly as
Yeah.
bad. If you have a
Yeah.
ball from like a Bud Selig ball or something like that with regular Bic pen ink, that signature in or out of the sun will be gone. And some Sharpie, I was showing Pepino how my Ted Williams over here, the autograph was completely gone. I have a Willie Mays with the ketchup here. The autograph is completely gone. You
I just seen no
cannot
Ted
even see
Williams
it.
autograph. I think he was lying. You couldn't
And
see
what
anything.
you saw? Well,
Invisible
it's got
ink.
a PSA. It's got a PSA certificate of nothing.
It's funny, right? See,
It's ridiculous.
it has a PSA certification on the autograph, but there's no autograph there.
And it used to be huge and bold, and it's got archival glass and all that bullshit, and it's not even in the full sun. I've got another Mantle photo up here that was from his museum, and it's not in the full sun, in the archival glass too. And that Sharpie, nice and it said number 7. It's gone. Signatures.
There's a
How
name
many
on the
Mantle?
phone now?
Yeah. What's that?
How many Mantle autos do you have, bro? I mean, you said at least
I was
50.
thinking I had like 75 to 100 probably.
Yeah, he's got a crazy
Really?
amount, dude. I was
Thing
just
is,
like, what the hell's going on here, dude?
I started stocking up on them when I figured it out, because you could buy them back in the day for like $80 to $100.
Yeah,
with
that's
no
one of my
cert.
biggest regrets. Yeah, that's
You
true.
could buy them with no cert, but because the only people that were bidding on them were dealers
Yeah.
and people who knew what they were. People had to have a cert, so they had like a Tony Podsata, my favorite forgeries, or some stupid, cert. The guy he's in Florida there with you. But literally, and people would just eat it up, and it'd be $59.
Yeah, when you guys coming down to Florida, Disney World, I got Orlando over here.
Screw
Collector's
Disney World.
Dream.
You're in Florida and Orlando. That's the only reason I'm going to Florida.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but
go.
it's a maybe next year, because the Strongsville will be off my list next year. So I can't go there.
I've been to Florida a few times. I remember went to Dodgers spring training. That was awesome when the Dodgers were actually still spring training there. So I got to see like the lake and the golf course that they built so Jackie Robinson could play golf, because they wouldn't let him play golf at so many other courses. So they built a course where he could play golf anytime he wanted there. That was pretty awesome.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah, I didn't hear. Well, other than that, so what autographs? I want to see the. You got some killer autographs that you showed today, Lou.
Oh,
On the cards,
that.
right? Those are because you like the cards.
I like the pack pooled because the card is designed for autos.
They are.
I do like the cut autos, like how you were describing the Satchel Page. Like I have a Lefty Gomez, a Johnny Mize, the Larry Doby I just picked up. But the cut auto has to be very specific. I like it from a contract. I like it from like a postcard where the background is white, or that creamy that creamy colored paper from like back in the day.
Manila. We'll call it Manila.
Yeah, Manila. Because a lot of them, they'll cut it from, I've seen Upper Deck, even the SP stuff that we all love. They'll cut it from like a Joe DiMaggio. I seen them cut the Pinnacle card and put it on their card, which is crazy to me. Leaf's done that a couple times.
Or they cut the name off, or they cut a letter.
Yeah, but still the baseball card, like you can still see the baseball card. It's like you can see the bottom part. It's like you took a card, destroyed it to put it in your card. Yeah, that drives me crazy. And I also seen like the press steels where they cut it from the press steel and they put it in the card, and the colors of the car that he designed for that year does not match the pressed steel. It's
Yeah.
too jumbled,
there's
too much going on.
absolutely. So
So,
so I can see that you're really laser focused. That's eye appeal.
like,
Like
this is a cool one. Speaking of the hypocrite, he's in the Hall of Fame because of the summer of '98 and a couple other things. But here's a nice Bud Selick.
Nice hypocrite.
And I noticed I was seeing a lot of those that were the long way like that. You know, a
Yeah, it's
lot
a
of them
booklet.
had signatures on both sides.
That's a pretty good signature, though. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's why I picked it up. I was like, you know what? I wasn't looking for Bud Selick, but the price was right. I had a little money in my eBay account, so I picked it up. This was the one that I just fell in love with right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
With the
that's a
little
cut
buckies.
with the wood bat.
Oh yeah, I got a
With the
Woody
Oh,
with
yeah,
that
that
wood.
give me
With
some.
with the
That's a 10
2x4.
wood for me.
So
With
I
the-
love this booklet. The
It looks
jumbo
like
jumbo
some
piece.
fine ash.
It's nice.
But you know, Dobie, he's starting to get a little bit of
That's
traction
nice.
in
That's a nice
in
signature.
our YouTube group.
Yeah, that's a
You
nice
know?
signature. He throws some
Hey.
stank on that ink.
Mike, I'll send you a text after this. I got
Okay.
something coming.
Is it Larry Doobie?
It's doobie doobie doo.
Doobie. Hey,
And this is
so
the card I was looking for last week. So now it's time for me to. But remember when they used to make these signatures with on the balls? This is that Kurt Chilling.
Oh, Heck yeah.
And then
I thought it was Steve Jelks.
no, man, dudes, you know how possible it is to find some Steve Jobs, man. He was too good. They're like nobody sells them.
That
Who's
Kurt
the
Schilling
other
is
one?
sick. I like that Schilling.
See, but these ones when they first came out, when Upper Deck
These
first started
nuts.
doing these signatures, they would all fade away. They would
Right.
all fade away because they were using like those China fake leather balls, and they
Yeah.
finally learned their lesson.
To the
Here's
Bob
a good
Feller.
story.
This one, I love displaying my cards, but because of what you just said, Pepino, this never sees the light of day. I don't take it out, look at it, show buddies, but
Yeah,
I
you
never
can't.
put this in a frame or any of my
You got to
shelves.
do what I do, so no UV rays get in your house.
It almost
I
doesn't
put a piece
matter.
of paper. I put a piece of paper out there that says no UV, and it has a circle with a line. So no UV rays allowed in here, and they won't go through my window. They're scared.
Bro, who are you
Everybody
kidding? You
mentions
got
this.
aluminum foil in your windows. I know you got aluminum foil, homie.
Only thing I got on my windows are metal bars.
Here's a story for you. So this is the way they were packaged in the like late 80s and 90s. They came like this with a case. So you see how the ball
Just sits in there.
Yeah.
sits in there.
Oh, bro,
These
you
are
got
sweet home
Campy. Is that
So what
Campy
they-
Auto? Oh
It's a
my
campy.
god.
So what they
dude.
did is look, they unstitched the ball, right? And so you see the sweet spot. It's not really faded, which it's held up pretty nice. It's a
That's a beautiful auto.
Roy Scribinella. But what they did was they sent him they sent him the piece of the ball, like the ball that's in your card, right?
Yeah, so it's not
And he
flat.
signed them all. Then they stitched the balls back. The problem is they stitched them backwards. That Rawlings is supposed to be on the other on the side.
Mm.
So that's how you can also tell if these are fake. And I hate that it has a little yellow mark there because it's gem.
Bro.
It's gem mint otherwise. And I display it because I always liked Roy. He was good.
Dude, Campy, that's a tough auto
I'm
too.
gonna show you a couple killer autos real quick. Look at this guy. See, like this one is really hard to read.
Orenthal, who is
How
that?
is
It
that
is a killer card, dude. That's a
Orenthal.
killer autograph right there. And I got this one. I love this one right here because it's on the card, and he went into the relic of the wood. You see that?
Yeah.
His
So at least he
autograph
had
went
the
like
card.
into the relic.
Is that Jose?
So that's a sweet ass Jose Canseco. And
Canseco.
no card autograph collection is complete without a rusty cunt.
I could. John is probably in the backstage, like, what am I doing? He's about to cut us off.
He knew damn well when he had us three together, there's going to be issues going on.
Hey, speaking of like pack pool, one of my favorite sets is the 99 Epic Signatures, and they just had legends on here. Got a nice little Johnny Bench blue, and this is what I'm talking about. Pack
He's
pool.
not one of those El Benchos that Mikey's always talking about.
Oh, Benchos. Eddie. I think I have an Eddie.
Oh, you gotta have Eddie.
I
Here's a
have an
nice
Eddie
little.
ball. So see, you have that, and I have balls. There you go. There's drink.
Willie's. I love McCovey's signature. It's
Me
it's almost
too.
like graffiti to me.
It's Willie Me Covey. Willie Me Covey.
Like his signature is so freaking unique.
It is.
And then
No respect. Ernie. Let's play 2. I like his signature too.
yeah, very simple, real cool.
He signed a lot. But I can't believe he signed all those cards. I mean, I didn't know that he was around to sign cards. Here's my Eddie Matthews on the ball.
That's dope.
Oh, yeah, that was nice autograph you had.
And it's just displayed. You can see how white the ball is. I mean, you see, it's been in the sun and it's right up and back of me, but it just stays.
I don't
Once they're
understand
milky
how,
white.
but either way, you could keep those white balls in the sun and they never tan.
Leonard Coleman. I wish I knew how this fucking camera worked. Pardon me. Anyway, sorry. Sorry about the F-bombs. I can't go with the F-bombs. Sorry about that.
Sorry. All right, let me show a couple autographs real quick. Let me see who I have here.
100%, Ryan. 100%.
What was that?
It's Campy and Larry overshadowed
Oh,
overshadowed
down.
by Jackie. Everyone's
All right, look at
overshadowed.
this. I got
Yeah.
for you a Robinson Cano autograph.
Ooh,
I always liked Robinson. A fold out.
Robbie Cano, the booklet.
So
Is that like a shadow box? Is that like on a plastic?
Yeah, this is a thicky, girthy card, but it's not in a shadow box because it doesn't have a cover. But it's a big patch and it's a thicko.
Well, I was looking at a card today and I couldn't tell. Is the signature on a clear piece of plastic or is it on
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
I got the penguin. I got the human vacuum. I had a girlfriend in high school. That was her nickname too. You know, Willie McGee.
I bet you she was her favorite.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Charlie Gehringer does have a beautiful signature, John.
At least her name wasn't Easy Peace Denise like my first wife.
Actually, I'm actually looking at a couple Gehringers, but Charlie has a beautiful one. He doesn't really have any bad signatures, man.
I used to
Strawberry, one of those glass.
Yeah, the stained glass.
Stained glass.
Christian Yelich autograph.
Boy, he was good.
This guy, what a disappointment. Taylor Austin. Juan Gonzalez. This is a sweet one. Man, Will Clark, the natural. Matt Olson, he had a disappointing year, but man, he's had some great years.
He's pretty good. I can't believe you have this many
this
autos.
is a sticker auto. When I started hating sticker autos, like when one day when I was walking through the tunnel going to the field at Dodger Stadium, and Kershaw was pitching that day, and he was in the tunnel with like a couple of pages with like that looked like each of them had like 100 stickers. So he was signing every single sticker. You know what I mean? He was just signing
got a stupid signature. It just looks like a C and a 44 or something.
But he was signing hundreds of stickers, and then he lost that game. So that's why I hate sticker autos. I was like, man, Kershaw lost that game because it made him sign like 1,000 damn autographs on those little stickers.
His arm was tired.
That's why we lost.
He threw his arm out signing autographs. Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure you get autograph elbow.
That's why they have their mom sign it. And it's, Barry Bonds, I heard, is signing.
He's got a lot of new signatures in this year's new.
And his new signature that I don't know if it's his or his wife's, but I've had his signature before in a ball, and it's pretty decent.
Well,
but his new signature, it looks like it's beautiful.
Yeah, like in the past, I heard like Willie Mays.
Yeah, like
in the past, I heard like Willie Mays. Yeah, his wife was signing all of them back then. But now, Topps, I think they try their best to have a representative on site when they're signing the cards now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like before.
Now, here's an autograph that's forged all the time. It's in one of these. Keep in mind, I've got like 5 of these containers. Like I wanted to. I don't know why, because they were a good
If you
deal.
get tired of them, I'll hold it.
But anyway, and this ball is my worst ball, but it's the Joey
The
DiMaggio.
Joey
Look at that.
D.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful. It doesn't say Jai. It says Joe. You can read it.
Yeah, he has one of
DiMaggio.
the
You
best
see the
signatures,
J.
man.
He really
One of the
does. So you
most,
can. It's fake. You can tell it's fake.
one of the
And
best
those
signatures,
dots. Those
Joey.
dots are very meaningful.
The Joey D.
You were talking about all the forgeries before too, like the Greg Marinos, and were they how prolific he was. I ran into Brian Gray at the. You guys know who Brian Gray is? He's the owner of Leaf or something.
Leaf kind of.
I Yeah, I happened to run into him at the West Coast show. Talked to him for a minute. He said he's going to have on Mastro again and talk to him about the show bidding this time and the cutting of the card and all that kind of crap and what landed him in jail. But he's trying to get Greg Marino and the family and that I think his name was Walter Bray or something Bray, Bray, from San Diego, trying to get him on their show to talk about the forgery. I mean, dude, these guys would take these balls and they would rub them in dog food and
Balls.
all kinds of shit. They would rub them in to make it in a cement mixer all together with a bunch of coffee grinds and to make them smell old and shit. And then he would sign them. And they would take orders like, imagine going in as a salesman into one of these shops. Oh, who do you need? Oh, give me 10 DiMaggios, give me, 15 Ruths, get me some Walter Johnson. And these guys would just go and they would take the old balls that they would have them in the dog food, whatever they had them. They'd make them all smell, and then they would sign them and sell them with a certificate. And one of the certificates was from the J. DiMaggio Company. So in other words, the scam was so bad that they said, "Oh, J. DiMaggio, he wouldn't be. It's got to be real." And you guys wonder
Yeah,
why I'm
man.
so jaded about everything's fake, because there still is a lot. We want to believe as collectors. We want to believe the called shot jersey's real. We want to
Yeah,
believe the
see,
bat
Yeah.
knob
I'd
from
rather be
is real.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I
You
guess
know,
that's true. I mean, I can understand it because we just want to collect
we just want
figures
to collect,
and we
bro.
don't get,
yeah,
but
'cause,
that's the problem. But people are getting rich off us,
Yeah, we're
you know,
yeah,
suckers. I'm a
and some of it
patsy.
might be real, but some of it's not. Golden
yeah.
used to
Like
fake
I had an
certificates.
autograph
No.
ball. I had an
Okay. So
autograph
Dan,
ball of.
I want to answer Dan. Okay. I know Dan knows a lot, but Golden did not used to fake certificates. Okay. All the signings with Golden were, if you have a true Golden certificate that was with the ball, it's real. The problem is those certificates were passed around like they were just a piece of parchment paper. So the fakes used the Golden certificates. The other asshole who was Tony Pozzata, okay? Tony Pozzata, he used to be the framer for Scoreboard for Ken Golden. And he made up this ridiculous story that he bought all this inventory when Scoreboard went bankrupt and bullshit like that. Then he started selling it. Fact was, all the shit that he sold was all with an inkjet printer. And it was like machine hand signed. You could take an eraser to that stupid thing he was signing, and you could not erase the signature. It was in the paper. It was not even live ink, and it was a bad signature. And he would sell it. At first, he would sell it with the Scoreboard. But then Scoreboard sued his ass, and he went to jail for it. So when he
Oh,
came back, he had the same fucking pictures. He just put my favorite forgeries on it. It was my favorite players. And then
did the booty bandit from the jail get him?
after that scam, he called it something else. So he just kept, and to this day, in fact, 5 years ago, he was hauled away in handcuffs from the National, selling fake Mantle autographs again. That guy. So like he never left. He's still around somewhere, and because he would sell it to like the army bases, and a lot, and people in the army, they'd go into their place where they shop, they get discounts. They were buying these
PXBX.
Mantle, they were buying Mantle autographs for like $60 or something, and we're trying to tell them, dude, they're fake. How about you try to erase the signature? It wouldn't come off. It's like they're fake. I I don't. I really don't. Now, Kenny Golden, I wouldn't say that he's as clean as a whistle. And I know Dan, I do think. Look, I think they're all crooked. Don't get me wrong, but I think he is somewhat transparent in this particular case. And it was his dad, Paul Golden, that started it. So Kenny was a kid.
The BX.
He didn't start it, but I don't know. I mean, if you go back and look at Net 54 from 10 years ago, I mean, before Ken Golden had his auction house, even he answered this. He showed contracts, and Tony Puzzata was in an autograph magazine. We talked to him, and it was back in the day. You could follow eBay sales, so you knew Tony Puzzata had a site, right? And he was selling all his shit. But if you looked at what he was buying real Mantle autographs. So he was selling his fucking fakes and buying the real thing. So it's not like he knew what he was doing, And these were some of the scams back in the day that were kind of going on. And these guys all kind of went to jail, But
Straight to Yale.
Yeah, so that's the story as I know it. Best I could tell it. Best I can remember it.
All right. Woo!
All right.
Hey, okay, real quick. I'm going to ask you guys some questions from my card. So I can say I didn't do this for nothing. All right. You're stuck on an island or you're stuck in a mansion for a month by yourself. And you could take one card, one music album of music, one movie, and one book. And the book could be a comic or a magazine or whatever. What would you take? One card, one music album, one movie, and one book.
Lou,
what would you take?
Go first. Do a card.
Anybody.
You go, Lou. What's the card would you take?
Just one card to look at. It will have to be my new purchase.
Oh, come on. Really? You're in love with it already?
No, I haven't sent you the text. I'll just say it here. I'll blow it.
Oh.
It's at the authenticators. I hate jinxing it.
You should
not in my hand.
Mangini had one lost on the way.
Yeah, so I won't name it because I'm superstitious.
Yeah, don't.
I gotta say the 49 Bowman Campy, just because my wife got it for me. It was a big surprise. I love my Clementes, but the 49 Campy with everything around it.
Think about, man, a story.
It really is, because when I see you on a stranded isle like Forrest Gump, and I like how he was always looking at Jenny. I see you looking at instead of your wife's picture, I see you looking at the Campy
on a coconut, just sleeping.
All right, so I'll do my card.
Okay.
My card is without a doubt would be the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, just because of what it means to me as far as like coming as far as I have as a kid, 13 years old, having the wherewithal to send away for that as a kid for $75 and then not being disappointed like my parents said I was an idiot. I mean, I guess I was, because I trusted the hobby, and it was a real kick in the teeth back then. And I always said in the back of my mind, someday I'll have that. Someday I'll have it. And so that, for me, that's the card. Okay, what's next? Album, or do you want to go ahead, Luke?
Yeah, any music album. What album are you taking with you?
Honestly, probably Thriller. Every time that hits, the party's always jumping. When I was a kid, I was moonwalking. It's like my all-time favorite. And then followed like History by MJ. I was a big MJ kid growing up. I moonwalking, breakdancing, had the cardboard when I was when I thought I was a breaker. I loved all that stuff. But you can't. You can put that on now, and people will be drinking and having a good time.
For me,
Mama
this
say,
is
Mama
so
say,
easy.
Mama say, Mama say, Mama.
Now, are you gonna play? Are you playing around Pepino, or are you just asking your?
Oh,
guests,
I can play.
Are you just asking your guests?
We're already two behind. So
well,
what card
if I can take any card with me, I'm taking my '83 Topps Traded Daryl Strawberry. Like that card, when I got that card, like because that was my first like Grail card. It might not be a Grail anymore, but at that time when I got it, that card was like what everybody wanted. Like Strawberry was killing it in 88, 89. And that day to me, if I think about the whole day, that card's gonna remind me of the whole day. It was a double win for me because I was going to the card show, and back then I used to collect bikes, and I didn't have a job or money, so I was collecting these bikes by taking them. But anyways, went to the
You know
car
he
show
played
at the
at you
mall.
know he played at Crenshaw High, right? In
Yeah,
'79. You
yeah,
know I
him and Eric
okay,
Davis.
so yeah, so you know that. And I played against him in high school at Cal State Northridge, our high school team, and
Yeah.
saw him hit a ball with an aluminum bat that I swear must have been 500 feet that made the most ungodly sound. And we were looking at, I
Oh yeah,
remember
like
looking
I
at my
think
friend.
his very first game, like in 1988, he hit
Yeah.
like the roof of the dome. Like it was like he's famous for hitting some moonshots, dude. Like
And
he was
cocaine
my guy.
is a
He was
very
my guy, my
dangerous
guy, my
drug.
guy. You
He
know.
got into cocaine. He got into the cocaines. So I got to talk
What
about
are
my
you gonna do,
favorite
man? The
album.
booger sugar is evil.
My favorite album,
The,
without a
the
doubt.
booger.
It's so easy. You guys all need to go download this. It's Full
Metal
Moon
Jacket.
Fever. Full Moon Fever. Tom Petty. You
Oh,
got na 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 na. Running Down a Dream. I've listened to that. I still listen to that song almost every day, believe it or not, because it kind of keeps me focused. But when I was a kid in the 90s with no direction, trying to graduate, college and with a family and just going nowhere, right? I'm running down a dream, going wherever it leads, working on a mystery, and that's it. There's something good
Doing
waiting down this
whatever.
road. I'm picking up whatever is mine. I'm running, and then the guitar, and so it's got that on it. It's got "You Wreck Me." It's got the song from the what's the new Grand Theft Auto 5? Love is a long, long road. I mean, I'm talking every song on that album is a hit. So and I've heard it literally that album a million times. So that's
Now I'm
wonderful.
free
Right, free
falling. That's what somebody just
falling.
said.
You can't.
I've been,
It's a classic.
it
Americana.
is. It is. All right. So what's the next one? We had that. What's the next one?
Oh, one movie. What movie would you take with you that you can watch? That's the only movie you have for a whole month.
That's easy. That's easy for me. My favorite all-time movie is Braveheart. I could watch Braveheart 1,000 times.
Freedom!
I think I have. It has everything. It has a love story. Has great action, great storyline, little historical references throughout. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
How about you, Pepino? What movie?
Movie? I would take Fever Pitch. I love that movie.
Fever Pitch. That's for girls.
You go.
I don't care. Hey, whatever
redo-
floats your boat, man. That I love that. I
Goonies
quote that
did.
movie so much.
They had to redo the ending because of the epic collapse of the
Yeah,
Yankees.
the whole story is great. That because
All
too, when I got my job at Dodger Stadium, it was the year 2004, and I was supposed to go work for the Red Sox, but and I couldn't afford it, so they recommended me to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers hired me. But if I would have imagine being there 2004 with the Red Sox, getting the ring, witnessing that movie, that was a missed
I mean,
opportunity.
that is
I
pretty
love
great.
baseball, man.
There's a great special on Netflix that talk about that Red Sox. Even though I hate them, and Fast Times. That was filmed right here in the Valley, and that was my life. Fast Times, and that is one of my favorites. But I have to say, without a doubt, I'm in
Gladiator.
hot pursuit of that black Trans Am. I'm gonna barbecue your ass in molasses. And what in the hell is the world coming to? And he said, "You sound much taller on the radio." It has to be Smokey and the
Smokey and the
Bandit with
Bandit.
Burt Reynolds because I love the car. It shaped my life. I had one in high school, and so much so that I had to get one. You
What
saw
was the
it.
vanity plate? Did you make your plate the same as Smokey's?
No, his was Band One.
Band One. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, mine says Varoom 76 because you know why? Because does it Varoom? Pepino, did you hear of Varoom? It was
Don't you
loud,
have it in the back right there? I thought you had it hanging somewhere
right
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two of them, right?
Yeah. 2 Varooms. I need some more Varooms though.
Varooms.
Yeah.
But all right. What about
that's my favorite movie.
A book, a magazine, or a comic, and reading material?
Reads.
Well,
yeah, because you're gonna be on it for a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say this, the obvious choice. I was gonna say this, but
that's pretty neat. I don't have that book.
You don't have it?
There's a
No.
PSA set registry
You call
based on
yourself
it.
a collector?
Oh, that one. That's the Mike Payne.
Yeah,
No.
Mike
Don't
Payne.
act like you got it now.
I don't have it. I have all the cards in it.
but that's not my book. I was going off the top
I
of my
have
head. I
all
was
of
like,
them too, except for one. I have all of them except for one.
The Wagner.
No, yeah. Well, another one. the 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 one with where the Barry Bonds 87 Donruss.
oh, the fake, the
Yeah,
wrong
where
one,
it's
right?
not him.
Yeah,
Oh.
Ray something,
I'm
or
trying to
I
think.
can't remember.
I'm trying to think, but nothing
I
happens.
think
on
Rick
the
has
book.
that one, but this is the
That's
book
like
I
a
would pick.
super expensive card. I don't think it's worth it. Even if I had the money, I'd buy something else. I'll get my book.
I'll show you which book I'd pick. It's right here. Oh no, it's not. That's a Beckett.
This
I
All
thought I had
Century
it.
Team book was when I got this book at Barnes and Noble. I was infatuated with it because after the summer of '98, which what brought baseball back to life, the following year, people forget at Fenway, you have them wheeling out the Splinter.
Yeah, I love
The
that.
All
All-Star
Century team, man. People forget how great that All Century team.
I
Pete
cried like a
Rose came
baby.
back. I mean, Pete Rose is on the field for the first time with all those legends. I mean, I can still remember seeing that on TV and just being glued to the TV set and seeing all
Those were
those
the
legends
days.
around them.
The
McGuire talking to
All-Star
Splinter.
games used to be so great.
Oh my
They
gosh.
were without a doubt. I mean, from the 60s on to the 70s, 80s. I mean, I just wanted to see the guys be introduced and come walking out and everything like that. I mean, it was not like it is today. You do have the home run derby, which is pretty spectacular.
It's still the best All-Star game of all the sports. Is the best one
Yeah,
by
No
far.
At least
doubt.
they're still trying.
Kind of. They're still trying. Is right. So the book, that's nice. Crazy enough, I just found a book in my garage the other day that I had when I was a kid. It was the Baseball Encyclopedia, and I used to read that stupid thing, and I remembered all like the stats. Right now, like since I've been collecting baseball cards,
That's
I mean,
how we
I come
learn.
off on kind of a dummy, but because I used to remember all that stuff, believe it or not. Now I don't know shit. I just say, he was good. I'm starting to listen to books on tape more and misremember things. But I used to literally be able to quote stats, and
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only way to do it. You couldn't look it up. There was no WAR. It was batting average.
I hate
Hits,
getting old, my
homers.
friend. I do not like getting
Yeah.
old. Like
You know
this
what?
is
It
going, my
suits you.
vision is going.
Walk a
All
mile
right.
in my shoes.
I'm gonna show my book. This one, man, I used to have as a kid, and I lost it. Like I don't know where it went, how I lost it, but I found when I went to spring training to go watch the Dodgers play. Spring training. I was at an antique store, and I found this book. Man, I used to draw all the pictures in here. This is such an awesome book. Like so as a kid, I would read this, and because the animation, I learned so much
beautiful.
about vintage baseball. That's why I knew all about vintage baseball. This book, dude, I mean, it's like so freaking awesome. Like,
What
you
year
learn
is that
everything
from?
about
What year is that
everybody.
from? Look at the cartoons. That's beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was good for. It was. I mean, I used to read this thing over and over, dude. I mean,
This is the kind of things that we had when we were kids, though.
yeah. And you really don't
We
see them
had to
anymore.
read books. We had Satchel Paige, dude. That is a spectacular book.
Yeah, so you learned about everybody. You know what I mean? So as a kid, that's how I knew about all these vintage players. Vintage players.
Wow, no, but they are vintage players. That's unbelievable. Larry Doobie. Oh my god, that's got eye appeal.
I forgot I haven't sent it to you guys, but yeah.
I don't have that.
Then I got it right now. All right, this has been asked before, but if you could have beers one night with any player, if you could have a beer right now with any player all night, who would you drink a beer with?
Dead or alive?
Yeah, anybody on.
Okay, if it's a living person, I will have to say John Kruk. He just like drinking. He has the best stories. he looked like the guy next door. He's almost like a John Daly, just a natural ability.
Yeah.
Like I think he would be so great just to be, and he looks like he drinks beer. But like dead, of course, it'll be like Clemente, just to talk about everything in his life, how he approached the game, his defense, how he just overcame just life, the integration, because he was an Afro Latino. He was fighting it on all sides, telling people straight to their face, stop calling me Bob. I like to be called Roberto.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
he went on national television and spoke in Spanish, something that wasn't done before. He's like, if you don't mind, let me tell something in Spanish to my people back on the island. Just his perseverance. I would just like to tap into that and talk to him. But yeah, just for a good time and have fun. John Crook, man. I mean, just a
He
baseball
is
guy.
quite a character.
Yeah, like a Kevin
So
Millar. Those guys who knows like those locker rooms stories, because Jeter, you can say Jeter or like a Judge, but they're so reserved and
they
careful
are.
with what they say. Like you want to get with someone who's going to give you the details and like the nitty gritty, and that's who I think will be a great
So I'm not
conversation.
going to let go. So here's the thing. So I have been blessed. First of all, with my grandfather teaching me the game, or as well as my dad. And I told Pepino, how my dad had worked on the construction of Dodger Stadium. You sat in the chairs right here from Dodger
Yeah.
Stadium, the original chairs. And so
That was Commando
my
too.
yeah, and my grandfather, took me to all those games, and he passed away in 1988. The Dodgers had a team that was not they were not that great, but they were very magical somehow. They always pulled out games out of their ass. And later in my life, in the 2000s, early 2000s, Roberto, I don't blame you. I was lucky enough to have a guy cross my path and become friends with a guy named Tim Leary. And just he was on the '88 championship team. That was a special team to me because my grandfather passed away in July. And then with Kirk Gibson's home run and all that, I just felt that was the pinnacle. I have been so blessed to meet him. And you talk about a great guy and great to the fans and everything too. Signs everything, great with the kids. He was telling me at one time he gets like 50 to 100 cards a day. He signs them all out. He was a star pitcher in Santa Monica. I've told these stories before. I know I told them to Lou about the first time that he was a bonus baby with the Mets, and how he was the next Tom Seaver, and his coach was Bob Gibson. But the story, these were the stories that he tells, and it's surprising that these players, they remember every fucking batter. They remember who they got out. He tells a story about Chris Sabo, how he hit. Sabo was hot as hell back then, and then he threw inside the Sabo, broke his wrist. He didn't cry about it, and that derailed Sabo. Sabo was all the rage. Remember,
Yeah.
buy Sabo,
with the
and then
glasses,
Tim Leary.
the goggles.
So I was lucky enough, dude. We were on concert tours. He went to all these petty shows that I went to. He was one of the guys that we would go with too, and he would come to our poker games. He was an integral part of our group, and I don't see him as much as I used to since the pandemic. But I mean, I want to show this ball because he signed these for my grandkids
Ball.
too. And this is in my display case. He was the 1988 NL Comeback Player of the Year because
Yeah.
in 1988 he pitched 100 innings in Mexico. He tells the story on how he would drive to Mexico, literally, and he would pitch, and then he would drive home in his uniform, to shower and everything. And is that all that's on there? Oh, here's the other thing he's very proud of. And if you remember, he would pinch hit for the Dodgers.
Silver
He won a Silver Slugger. The Silver Slugger is at Dodger Stadium, the bat. He's got one as well. But to have this guy, tell me stories that some of them I can only repeat privately because I mean they're amazing. I mean, literally crazy. And I am very, I respect our relationship. But to be and talk about having a beer. That wasn't the only thing, because back in the '80s, of course, you remember, and I know
That
there
booger
was
sugar.
there was a little bit of that going. Maybe Mike Petty could have been partaking
Is that
back in the
magic?
day, but there's stories and whatever. That's
Yeah,
not.
You're saying you
Well, he
didn't sleep for
was,
3 days? You didn't sleep for three
but
days? What?
no, I didn't do that. That was, but like going into a ballpark, meeting him at the game. Getting to meet Buck Showalter, Jim Leyritz. I mean, all these guys that he knows everybody from playing in the '80s. Like the pitching coaches on the Phillies. We're at a game at the Phillies. He yells down, "Hey, everybody knows Tim." So anyway, he was just a great guy. Told a lot
That's
of great
awesome.
stories, and I was lucky enough to have some beers with him, and for whatever that's worth, that's my story.
all right. Well,
Only
if I
on
could have
For
a beer with
Collectors.
any, I want to have a beer with Bob Euchre. I would
Oh,
love to hear
Yes.
his stories. He's
yes.
funny. I mean, you know, when I talk about the best card for my first national, I always say it was that Bob Euchre that I bought. Like I saw Bob Euchre and I was like, and Bob Euchre was never really on my radar hobby wise. And that's what I mentioned when I bought that card at the national. I was like, I've never seen Bob Euchre cards because I only buy in person. I don't look online. So all these card places that I've gone to, I don't think I've
Never.
ever seen a Bob Euchre card. That was the first time I was like, hey, a Bob Euchre card. Like, as a kid, I mean, his commercials alone, I love Mr. Belvedere. So he was a
Mm.
big like part of baseball comedy to me.
He
You
was
know,
a character of the game. Here's a
yeah,
guy in the Hall of Fame. He didn't even hit 200.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't. I
dude.
think. I mean, but
I
he
would
won a
love to drink with
championship.
him all night, dude, and hear his
Yes,
his stories.
and he
That's a
would
great
drink
one.
with you. He
That's a
would drink
good
with you too.
choice. That's a
Yeah, it
good choice.
is.
And he did Bud Light commercials where he was
Yeah,
trying
Miller
to
Lite.
trade.
He
he
Was
missed
it
the
did
Miller
the
Lite?
Johnny
tag.
Car.
He
He
missed
did
the
the
tag.
Johnny
Yeah,
Carson
that was his
show.
thing. He would have like nosebleed seats. He'd be like all the way at the very
Yeah.
top and arguing with the umpire. I'm gonna see if
Yeah.
I have another
What other
alcoholic beverage.
questions you got for us? This
Oh,
is
okay.
good.
What you
Okay. If you
drinking?
could pick,
That
if you
tarot
could
card
pick
is
one
beautiful.
game, one major league game, any game that you could have been to witness, which game would that be? Any team, any stadium, anytime.
Honestly, I wish I could have been at the 99 All-Star game in Fenway during the All-Century team. That's a once in a lifetime. You can't do another all-century team. you can't do it. I mean, to have all those legends in one spot. I mean, I think that's you just can't duplicate that. It will never be
No,
duplicated. So
All right,
no,
which
just
there's
game?
no
unique
question.
Which game?
atmosphere. The
Which
99
game?
All-Star with the all-century team. I was
Yeah.
just infatuated with that day, the concept of it
I
all.
was too, and if
Yeah.
you go back on YouTube, you can see it again, and I
Oh
go
yeah,
watch it
I
sometimes
do.
because you're
Yeah.
right. That is a very and like I mean, these guys are saying
The,
for me. I mean, do you want to go Pepino next? I got my lineup, or do you want to have another
Well,
drink?
if I
oh,
could be
US.
at any
That's a
game,
good one.
anytime,
Olympic Games. Yeah.
it would be the 2024 World Series game number 5. I wish I was there. I
I mean,
wish I was
you
there.
were there,
No,
weren't
it was
you?
at Yankee Stadium.
Oh,
It
it
was
was at
at
Yankee
Yankee
Stadium. That's
Stadium.
right. That's too bad. Yeah, you wish you were there. That was badass. Well, for me, it's very simple. I mean, it was the Kurt Gibson game when he hit the home run in the '88 World Series. So I was home alone. At the time, I was married. I was living in Simi Valley. I was on like 20-year-old shag carpeting. And I had an old Mitsubishi TV. It was a console. And it was on the ground. You remember how those console TVs were? It was like a
Yeah.
27-inch console. And I was just sitting there on the ground, like by myself. My grandfather was gone. My wife, I don't know where the fuck she was. Who cared? But the Dodgers were losing, and I really wanted them to win for my grandfather. And that home run that Gibson hit, right? I stood up, I started cheering and going crazy. There's nobody there in the house, just yelling, yeah, woo, woo, And So for me, that was and to have Tim Leary at that game. So here's the story about. I have to tell this story too because he had a rough ride there with
Really?
Lasorda. Yeah, here I'm going to tell a little inside story. He had a rough ride with Lasorda because after he pitched 100 innings in Mexico, he had thrown his arm out the year before. That's why he was comeback player of the year. He comes in April 1st, and Lasorda says, "Timmy, sorry, but you didn't make the team. And we got to send you. We have to send you out of here." And then he said April Fools to him because he literally he had pitched
Timmy,
zeros in spring
you're
training.
back.
He had thrown 150. So then after that, Tim kind of just got a bad taste in his mouth. And part of his motivation, though, I think, was to get back at Lasorda. So then by the time he got to the championship series with the Mets, he had already thrown like 500 innings or something stupid, like for the year, and he was just out of gas. And the Mets killed him. I think they beat him they beat him up 6-0 or something. But Tim was the number 2 pitcher. Let's not forget they had Hershiser, who was out of control, and then Tim was their number 2. He was like a 2.76 ERA, something terrible. So now all of a sudden they put Belcher in game 2 for that game. So Belcher was a rookie, and they bypassed Tim. So Tim was pissed. That was his game, but he pitched bad. He was out of gas. Lasorda knew it. So what happens? You guys remember that game when Canseco hit that fucking grand slam and put a hole in the damn camera in center field off of Belcher? Yeah. It was 4-0. Who came in to bridge the gap? Tim. Pitched like 4 innings of nothing and kept them in that game, make 4-1, 4-2 to set the stage. But Tim was already in the dugout or in the clubhouse, already showered. He didn't celebrate, which was kind of sad that he wasn't there part of that. But he had really bad feelings towards Lasorda after that, as you might imagine. But still won a World Series championship. So that's the game I wish I was at. But getting that firsthand knowledge through Tim, it's kind of amazing, the life.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned that David Cohn was a hothead. If a lot of people, if you don't know, being a Dodger fan, of course I know. I think it was 1988 at the beginning of the playoffs when they played the Mets, and the Mets were supposed to beat the Dodgers' ass. They were supposed to crush them. David Cohn
beat the Dodgers. They beat the Dodgers like 10 times that year or something stupid.
David Cohn wrote like an article in the paper or was interviewed, just like, that the Dodgers are like nuts, and the Dodgers got pissed and beat the shit out of the Mets.
Lasorda he put the newspaper article in the locker room.
But that particular game, I love that game. But the reason I wouldn't want to be at that game because I like my experience watching it. I did watch it also by myself in 1988.
How old were you? How old were you?
1988. I should have been like 15, 16. So
that's awesome.
That was the first. 74. Yeah, like about 15 years old. That was the first World Series that I watched without my dad. Like I watched every other World Series. Everything. The NBA Finals, the NFL Super Bowl, Baseball World Series. I watched all that with my dad. Wherever he went, he would pick me up and take me. They were divorced by this time. But 1988, that game was the first time I watched the World Series game without him. But what I remember is when Gibson hit that home run. And honestly, even as a young Dodger fan, I believed that the A's were going to kick our ass. I was like, we don't have a chance, but I hope we win. You know what I mean?
With Eckersley, they had Eckersley. I mean, he was talk about a shutdown closer.
Yeah. So when they won the game, I just remember like standing up by myself in the living room. Everybody else is asleep, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" I'm screaming and screaming, and I run outside, and I go to my first friend's house, and his dad comes out with the gun and shoots it into the grass, just pap, 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 and all the letters into the grass. That was cool,
so hood, bro.
And then my two friends from that house, they run with me, and we go to my friend Vince's house, and his mom was related somehow, like the niece or something of Johnny Podres. You know what I mean? So they always used to talk about like the whole neighborhood. And Ray, I was in a cul-de-sac, and the whole neighborhood just came out. Like every single house came out into the cul-de-sac, was in the street cheering. People that were straight out, like, Mexican paisas that didn't speak English. Everybody was out there. Like every household was out there celebrate. I mean, all my friends in that cul-de-sac, every single person that I was in school with, all my friends I played baseball with, everybody was out there. It was a big celebration, and I
Look
would
at
have
Rick.
changed that one, man. That was
I
awesome.
know.
That
I'm
was
reading
such
that
a
from
great
Rick too.
experience.
That
Rick's
is an
is great.
amazing experience, is right, man. And you were 50. Now, did you share sports and stuff with your dad, Lou?
No, I mean, my father, we always watch sports on TV. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
love watching tennis. Tennis was a big thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing was a huge thing for him. Like baseball and my grandfather was the two, that was our love language because my grandfather
Right.
loved baseball. My
So he's
father
the one that
loved
gave you the passion for that.
exactly. And him being a Mets fan, me growing up, talking to him about baseball, that's where my love for baseball grew. My father enjoyed baseball, but his passion was boxing. Um, Following all the Puerto Rican greats, he made it to the Gold Gloves, didn't win it, but he's like I almost died. He's like I was in the wrong weight class, and yeah, he was. Yeah, they said he's like I messed up bad. He went way too high, and he was walking around at like 150, and he was fighting a guy 175. But
He was 150, your dad?
yeah, well
Dude, I
when
was
he was boxing,
150 in fucking kindergarten.
yeah. Well, when I went to basic, I was 152. I came out 154. I wish I was a buck 80 right now.
Are you that thin or no? You're
No, bro, I'm
150.
215 right now.
Oh yeah, I've
I'm
been 215
215.
since junior
Oh,
high.
you got a
Oh
little
my,
bit porkier.
yeah,
Nice.
bro.
A flapjack from 300. Not quite that bad, but no, because sports with our parents. I mean, with my mom and dad, it was really bonding. In fact, my dad,
Mhm.
he had me when he was 21, so he was a younger dad, and he was pretty cool, and with all my friends, and we watched. I wouldn't say he was easy to talk to. He was very reserved, but you could always talk over
Yeah,
sports,
Fort Benning, Georgia, baby.
over something. At least that
Never
started
bang
things,
bang.
right? It started things, and I hope the kids today can do that with their parents. Because I mean, for me, it was definitely an icebreaker, and I always enjoyed that and watching he had football games, USC games, UCLA, out here, and Dodger games, Lakers. He was
Yeah.
always around, and
Yeah, my pops was all around. Like just we watched everything, but I never went to a ball game with my pops.
really,
Yeah, never went to. Well, I take that back. We went to like some spring training games because when my father retired out of the military, we ended up in Lehigh, but it's real close to Fort Myers. So we went to a couple Red Sox spring training, Triple A affiliates like Paul. I don't think it was Paul Tuckett. I don't know, whoever the Triple A affiliate is there. But we did a couple games like that, but we never went. Like when we lived in Baltimore, he went to Camden. I never went. He's like, it's too far. I'm not bringing the kids in the car.
I know, but that is a great stadium too. I've been there a
Camden
couple
is my
times
favorite. I
too.
went
It's
when I was
good,
older.
right?
I went back, because um, I grew up there, so I went back with my kids to show them where Daddy grew
Oh,
up. And
that is so great of you.
oh, the cherry block. I love Camden. I love Maryland. I love DC. I love that whole area.
Me too.
Um, it's one of my
But it's
favorite
our
places to
job
be.
as parents, like, to pass it forward
Yeah,
too. And when you have grandkids, we need to. That is what we love about the game.
yeah.
This is what the flippers and the fucking modern people
They
don't
don't get it.
understand, that they're just caring. They don't give a shit about the game. They just want the next flip of a
Yeah.
one-on-one kaboomy. Of which I forgot to tell that story, is when the guy came up to me and told me, he says, "I saw you. You're the burrito guy." I said, "Yeah, I eat a lot of burritos and I swallow a lot of aggression too." But not only that, he said that I should copyright the word kaboomy, because he
That's
said
not a bad
everybody's
idea.
starting to use the word kaboomy right now, you know. But
And
no,
parallelograms.
and parallelograms, we all got to have them. I mean, whatever.
Wait, so what's going are you gonna try to trademark it?
Yeah,
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
trade. What are we're trading, right?
No, you're gonna trademark the kaboomy so nobody else
Oh,
can use it.
trademark. The guy was a lawyer that came up to me. He said that I
No,
should
copyright.
trademark it. Yeah. He's that way every time they use it on YouTube, they have to pay me. And then I can buy baseball cards.
I ain't paying you.
Dick, I'm not paying. I love that new
Kaboomy,
microphone.
kaboomy.
Hey,
I'm
so
gonna make a
can you
song. I'm gonna make a rap song.
how does that microphone work? Like, where's your earpiece? How can you hear it?
I got a speaker. It's just a totally separate speaker. I don't know. This is just a microphone.
Okay.
My son got it for me. It's a gamer mic.
Okay, so but
Yeah,
then
he
you have
likes it.
that, and your speaker is where though?
It's just a
In your
separate speaker that's hooked up to the USB. It's just a computer
okay.
speaker.
So are you on a computer or an iPad?
Oh, computer. This is a
Oh, you're in
desktop.
computer.
Yeah.
How about you, Pepino? You in a phone or a?
Oh, yeah, I'm on my phone, man.
Oh, do you have any? I'm on my phone there.
The phone is easy. I like my phone too because everything's
My
right
phone
there.
doesn't work on StreamYard. It's funny because
You
Orlando
gotta go
it
Safari.
took me 6 months for Orlando to get me on. I said, dude, I need a new phone. I go, I'm not doing. So I buy the brand new iPhone, top of the line. In 3 months, the thing fucking breaks. It won't work on StreamYard. I gotta get another. Not only that, but it just went dead. It's got like some kind of a I couldn't make phone
Yeah,
calls. So they send me a backup plan, whatever you call it, a refurb. After 3
Refurbish?
months, you pay
Refurb?
15. A refurb. I have a refurb. A refurb. And then so I'm fucked. So I'm on the stupid iPad that I bought at the same. At least that thing works.
Well,
But I don't.
on my iPhone, I can't use Chrome. I have to go to Safari for StreamYard for whatever reason. Like it depends on the browser.
Yeah. Any more questions, Pepino?
All right, on YouTube, who do you think is the best surfer?
Best surfer? It's fucking Dylan. He's the only one with any
Okay, yeah,
balls
that's
that
my
surfs.
vote too. Who do you think, Lou Rock? Who do you think is the best surfer on YouTube, baseball in our hobby?
Well, the obvious answer is Dylan.
Oh yeah, we all agree on that one.
So I'm gonna switch it up, and I'll put another Californian, Rick, vintage all ball cards.
He's a surfer.
Look at the hair. He's got good hair.
He does
Yeah.
have good hair.
And
How-
I don't
he must be
know, but
70
he
too.
either has 1 or 3 balls, but he does not have an even amount of balls.
Well, whatever
Okay.
balls he has is to his knees. I could promise you.
He's a
Somebody
misfit.
asked that if the vintage autographs sag on a baseball.
Let's show more balls.
Well, I don't have any balls. I got some autos.
I have a
Here's-
couple.
Here's
autos.
one of my favorite autograph sets because of the Negro Leaguers. I'm trying to get the Campy in this. So here's a nice little front row of Ray Dandridge.
Yeah, I used to have a signature of him. I sold it. I had a ball,
Ball.
and I had
Take
a
a
ball
drink.
of him.
Ball.
Balls.
Buck Leonard. And these are all sealed. I still got them. That's why they're in the not. I like having all my autos and one touches, but these I love having them sealed. So I just put them in the because they still have
can't
the
you
whole
put those
set.
in your special holders that are those whatever they're
The Mag
called? Those
Pros.
Xeon. Seaver's got such a gorgeous autograph.
Yeah, he's sneaky expensive.
He is.
And then here's
Lot
the
of-
Brooks, the Brooksy.
God, those are old pictures, and look, they're not. Those are. No, they don't
But they're
show
clean
their,
autos, bro.
They
I
don't
love
show
it.
their hats. Yeah, they are.
They're clean autos.
But
So.
you know what I want to see again? I want you to show.
What's
I
that?
want you to show those speckled, the rainbowy, like that Willie Mays you have. I want to know what the hell those are.
Oh, the Leaf Limited, like
Whatever the fuck
05,
you call them. They're fucking beautiful.
04, 05 is like the
Yeah.
sweet spot for autos. I could get a couple if you want.
They're shiny. I mean, they're shiny, and they're signed like on the sweet spot, and they're nice.
Well, you got
Yeah.
and that's where some patience comes in because
Yeah.
you have to. I always say silver stickers for the win because I think the sticker auto helps keep the auto from
True.
fading. So that's why and the way the card is designed, the sticker auto does not look bad, so I could get a couple
Right.
of those if you want.
Because you can't tell it's a sticker necessarily for some
You
reason,
can't,
even though it is. I hear and I see your point. And I also want to find out, Pepino, how Lou Rock feels about on card autos
I love them.
without this, like a Larry Doobie.
Yeah, doobie, doobie, doo. I'm gonna
Front
show a
row
couple of
card.
my autograph balls.
There we go.
I don't collect necessarily chase them, but when they come across or somebody gives them to me, look at
That's
this
a World Series champ.
Daryl Strawberry auto.
Oh shit!
Sweet. I mean, and like I said, Daryl Strawberry was like my guy, Daryl Strawberry.
Look how
Right.
many championships he won despite his problems.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
He won.
So this is
he
my
won that
Mickey
many.
Mantle right here. No penis and testicles on it, but it's a Mickey Mantle autograph. And then this one right here, I'm gonna keep going. If I could open it. Some of these I should probably get some new cases for. I don't even know. You ever had that problem? Like you don't know how it opens?
Of course. They never
Like
open.
which way does it go? Come on. All right, here we go. But this one is like 81 or something. But it's you got Stump, the manager, autograph. You got Dave Righetti. Dave Righetti right there. And right here you got Roberto Kelly and Don Mattingly.
Remember, he was good.
Yeah, and Don Mattingly. And Don Mattingly, this
from?
is his old autograph. You guys were talking about earlier about people changing autographs. This is Don Mattingly's old autograph, and then it changed.
Look at that.
But yeah, this
ink.
is
the ink. Let me see that ink. Where did you? Is that real? Is that live?
Yeah,
ink?
yeah. This whole thing
Look
is
how thick it is. Yeah, it is because it's smudged. Look how thick.
But yeah,
ink
it's
is.
the Columbus Clippers team ball.
That's pretty nice. You don't see those every day.
And then obviously everybody else has already seen like this one.
Can you put the chicken mask on? Can you put the chicken mask on for Rick?
I don't have it in here.
Could you put the Neil Moskers mask on with the, or maybe how about put the underwear over your head, the one that's signed? That's what Rick wants to see. He wants you to wear it. Rick said he wants you to wear it over your head though. He wants you to put it on. That's right, like that. There we go.
I wish I could sign that underwear, man. I wasn't there.
He didn't ask that, but I did. That's the funniest goddamn thing. You're fucking.
That's a Gem Mint 10, baby.
That is a 10 of 10.
That's a Gem Mint 10.
Oh, you got your wish, Rick.
So let's see.
Oh my god.
So for Mike.
That is hilarious. There we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it is a sticker. Which is okay. Yeah,
it's the Willie.
What year is that?
2005, I want to say. I don't have my glasses on, but I want to say it's 2005 Leaf Limited.
But you have more than that. You have a bunch.
Yeah, I got Here's another 2005. This is Donruss signatures, but same concept. The cow. I haven't shown this one, but look how clean that is, bro. Super clean.
He's got a nice autograph. I had one that faded and I sold it.
This is a 2004, and this is Leaf certified.
Tony.
Of Tony. Love Tony.
I do too.
But you gotta be patient because it is a sticker, so you gotta make sure it's on there.
Right.
I love this one.
Because a lot of them aren't, right?
Yeah.
He signed a lot. But I love him, and he was so good. Sweet.
Well, the picture did it for me because there's a couple Lou Brocks that were cheaper, but because I love the image that they chose for this, I bought this card. Because you're right, he did sign a lot. I could have bought some cheaper ones, but the seller had the leverage because I love.
And you like these, and you definitely like these cards better than like, let's say, a 1970 signed Lou Brock.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, because it has to be. I'm not opposed to it, but it's like you said with the vintage. How does the signature look? Can I see it? Is it legible? Is it going? Is it dark in some places? Will I be able to read it without a loop or a magnifying glass? Because
I'm
if
not
it's
doing that.
yeah, I mean, unless it's after their playing days and they're using a Sharpie, you can't see a lot of these autos. You
I
know?
know, and even if they're using a Sharpie, like I tried to tell you and tried to show you and demonstrate a little, there's no
Yeah.
sweet spot
Yeah. And
on
if
a
it's at a
lot of the
game,
cards.
and if it's at a game, it's a rushed auto sometimes. Like if they were paid, like Ryan Sandberg has one of the sloppiest autos, but this was completely. He has so many autos that are off card, off sticker. This one's completely on. This had to be one of his first 10 signatures for this set because he's on there. He's patient. He gets it on there, but it's a damn mess. But this is
It
actually a
is
clean.
completely on the auto. I mean, it's
It's
hard to put
completely
this
on
on
there,
that
and
thing.
if you know
Yeah.
Rhino, that's a clean auto. That's a
That's a
super
clean.
clean
It
auto for
looks like
him.
Omega to me.
Yeah.
It's not
Omega.
Ryan, it's Ryan. You
I
guys
got a
remember
couple.
that? Any of you guys? It's
Yeah.
not Ryan, it's Ryan.
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 Here's the bad mother
Eddie
trucker.
Murphy. That's right.
Murphy, bad mother
And
trucker.
he played for the Dodgers too. I loved him when he was.
Oh
He was
man.
great.
30,000 hits,
You know what,
500
man?
home
Hey,
runs.
Really think and a switch hitter. Nobody's
Yeah.
done that. Nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody. You think that what's his name? Deli a la Cruz is gonna fucking do what he did?
Nah, but Ellie De La Cruz is a
Oh,
beast on the
let's
base
talk
pad.
about
Though.
this
oh,
guy.
that's a good one.
This guy, the
I,
Impaler.
he was I
Wow.
loved him. He was my favorite non-Yankee.
Yeah,
He was such a bad ball hitter too, bro.
he was. He could. He had a home run one time on a bounced ball.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I used to love to go see him play with the Angels. And when he was with the Expos, I was at an Expo game. In fact, I remember going to a Dodger doubleheader on a Wednesday afternoon. Right, they were playing the Expos, and I went by myself. Phil Rizzuto. I went by myself to the game because I wanted to see
Yeah,
Vladdy
you're
with
right,
the
Ryan.
Expos, right? And this dude, I mean, he was the best. But that I remember the first game of the doubleheader, Kirk Gibson scored on a wild pitch from second base. He
That
signed a
push.
lot, but look at that signature.
It's clean, dude. I love it.
I've got one up there with the ball.
Talk about a guy who signed a
gotta show
lot.
you
Here's a
one.
stand, but this is a clean auto
He did,
stands.
yeah, he did, and he signed till the day he died. But he not as it wasn't as he had his own authentication company too. You know.
Oh yeah, kind of like say hey
Really?
kid.
Yeah.
Here's a nice
Who's
Miggy.
that guy?
This is Miguel
Miggy.
Cabrera. He's not a Hall of Famer yet,
He
but he
will
will
be.
be.
He'll be
He will
first.
be for sure.
3,000
Eddie
hits,
Watt.
500
What
home
did I say
runs,
about Eddie Watt? Eddie Watt what?
Triple Crown.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about this
Eddie Watt.
guy? He's
That
not a
was
Hall of Famer,
that
but
was a great interview. Bobby Richardson.
sick auto, dude.
Religious
is.
dude on the Yankees.
Talking about cut autos. Oh, I can't see. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm gonna show my lefty.
Did that one for you. Nice little cut auto. You see what I'm talking about?
I have a cut auto ball on lefty.
Oh, really?
Cut
That's
auto
sick.
ball.
Let me put me on. I have a $300.
Put that good hair on there.
There's a cut auto of Lefty Gomez.
Damn, someone hit the cover off that
What?
ball.
What movie was that? Was it that Sandlot?
It was in
Was that the
it
Sandlot?
it was in over here with my glove.
That's
And the
sick,
dog,
dude.
the dog got into it, and like literally in 3 minutes, she ripped that fucking Gomez right off there. $300 right down the
Oh,
drain.
you'll get
But
more
what
if you say some
I've
big
got
movie
another.
cover.
I want to show this though. Look at this one. You know who that is? That's the reading rifle. Carl Ferrillo.
Oh,
He was
nailed
a
it.
champ.
Nailed it.
Because you can read it. He was good. And look at that. That's an old Abe Bartlett Giamatti ball. Creamy.
That's it.
Creamy ball.
Oh, creamy.
Creamy. It's so creamy. Here's a, you know what we used to call these back in the day? Do you know who that is? That's
Willie.
Fleece Mop.
Oh,
Fleece Mop. Fleece Mop. Willie Mays is also known
like-
as. Now you guys know the secret. If you can read Fleece Mop, you can authenticate his signature. Okay.
yeah, Willie.
You don't want to see Willie Mays that's his wife that signed Willie Mays. He signed Fleece Mop.
The double
This
F.
is a William White. These balls were never white.
The
They
FF
were
auto.
they were covered because this one is this is from Costa Rica. The balls that
got
were from
Tourette's.
Haiti. If they're from Haiti, they got shitty water in them and they were all fucking toned. This is look, I mean, this is in the sun, you guys.
They're high alkaline water. They're healing.
I'm trying to tell you. I showed you that one. What else? I don't have much for you. I got to show one of my old buddy.
I don't have
Remember this
much.
guy was supposed to be super great.
Ooh, nice
Jonas
one, Jeremy.
Cepedes. Remember Cepedes?
Bro,
You-
Puig
No,
and
I don't
Cepedes were my
remember.
guys.
Cepedes.
And then Adrian
Jonas
Gonzalez. Now,
Cespedes.
this is the shadow box. I used to love the company. This series right here. The Strata.
Strata was tight.
So here my point is, Adrian
They had the logo stickers.
Adrian Gonzalez
Yeah, and the
was
shadow
a fucking
boxes.
mate. He was a major leaguer. Do you understand? He was a star. These guys today can't hold his ass, and people are paying like hundreds of thousands. Right, Pepino.
San Diego
Yard,
Padres Stadium
fuck.
killed his power.
They can't hold his ass. So he came to the Dodgers. He was great. Adrian
Yeah.
Gonzalez. I mean, he was with wasn't he with Boston too?
He was with
Yeah,
the
he was
Padres.
with the Red Sox.
He was
But
with the
anyway, my
Padres.
Yeah,
point
good years with
is
the Red Sox.
my point is that he was a great player, and you have to work 15 years to get to be a player of that caliber. And
Yeah.
my point is on the modern players is you haven't done shit to get me to this fucking point yet. Give me 15 fucking years like that guy did. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've been drinking a little, but now I have to talk a little about Star Aaron.
Star.
See how it's a star?
Hammering Hank, man.
STAR Star Aaron. Look at
Stash.
the milky whiteness. Do you understand how hard these are?
Milky.
Milky's nice.
Milky, the balls. Drink, Pepino. Whoopsie daisy.
Hey, I'm Tim Belcher.
This is an old ball. I didn't realize it. It's on a Charles Feeney.
Mike, are you drinking? I haven't seen you drink yet.
I've been drinking while you guys had all the airtime.
That ball's been through some stuff.
I have a Shirley Feeney.
That thing is clean, bro.
Isn't it though?
Shirley, Laverne and Shirley?
It's a Shirley Feeney. Look.
Shamito, Shamazo.
Shamayo. Incorporated.
I love talking about
We're gonna do it. Carmine Raguzzo. Anyway,
I can't do this at work. All the kids at work think I'm old. They don't get my references.
You're only 40.
I'm 43, baby. I'll be 44 in April.
And you're old. Think about that.
I'm the old guy. Well, my line of work, I'm pretty old. Yeah.
Well, you got to retire soon and go into baseball cards with the rest of the misfits.
Yeah.
You know, I saw your buddy George at the West Coast.
Yeah, I love that
He's
guy.
handsome. My wife loves him. She wants to marry the guy. She says he looks like Dylan McDermott.
Then they find out he's a lawyer. They're like, he's a lawyer too.
He's a lawyer. He's got money. I go, honey, I make more than any fucking lawyer. Hey, let me show you this. Anyway, let me show you this. Leo. This is a Leo the Lip.
DeRocher.
Can you tell that? This is a pretty rare ball. I got a couple of them.
Ball.
I look at a lot of balls. I look at a lot of balls, bro. So I knew it
I'm
was a
sure
Leo.
you do. I mean, I know Pepino. He stares at balls all day
Oh,
long.
I look
He
at
drinks.
balls all day.
I mean, you guys never saw. Yeah, I really brought some of the. You see more balls. I got ball. The last ball I'm going to show is all for Lou. It's only for Lou.
Oh my gosh! Please.
It's gem mint white.
That's sick. Dude.
You know, and it's been in the sun for fucking 10 years, Lou.
And it looks like that.
And it looks like this. I mean, look, this is a booby brown. Look,
I was gonna say, who's the commissioner on that one?
booby.
Booby. I like boobies. You like balls? I like boobies.
Look how white that is. It's
Booby,
whiter than my
booby,
fucking shirt.
boo.
I need to go to the dentist because look, I see that as white as a ball.
You ain't lying, Ruben. I got to figure
turn.
something out.
Look at my big ball.
Where?
Look at this big ball I got.
Let me see.
John.
What you got.
Look at it's the size of my head.
Yo, I need
It's
that junior
literally
ball.
the size of my head. This thing is
That's
big.
sick, bro. That's not even a softball. What the hell?
Oh
This
my
is a
god,
huge
that thing
ass
is
ball,
fucking
dude.
huge. That's like a beach
Yeah.
ball.
Well, I'm
Jesus
impressed with the
Christ.
size of your ball. I am very impressed with
Dude,
the size of your ball.
ever since
Look
I've
at
been
that.
showing these balls, every minute
Hey,
since
it's a
I showed
head.
my
See,
lefty
see.
Gomez ball, the crowds, I can see it's dipped down to
Golly,
nothing.
I gotta show you some balls. I got balls too.
You got balls?
Do you? Ah, you kid. Oh, look at that.
I got a nice,
Nolan. I
I
love
got a nice
Nolan.
little yellow ball. It's a little
Look
Yeah,
how
yellowy,
yellow. You see
that's
what I mean? Look
aged
how
well. What
toned it
kind of
is,
cheese
right?
is that? Somebody was
but the
throwing
Spaghetti
ink,
cheese
ball?
with that ball.
but the ink
That,
looks good.
that thing looks like my teeth. Yellow.
Got a little Carlton.
Who's the other one? Used to have them, but I only could. So here's the thing: I could only keep 30 balls in back of me, and I could only keep 36 balls in my case. So I sold all the other Hall of Famers.
So
I used
half
to
of
have
them are
like
mantle.
I had 200 balls at one time. Balls, 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 balls.
Man, balls.
I wish I knew
Ball
you then.
round.
I would have picked some up.
I kept all the mantles. So now unfortunately you're stuck with the mantles.
That's an excellent choice, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I
You can't go
figured they'd
wrong
be
with
easy.
mantle.
I figured it'd be easy to get rid of bats. I never got into bat. Pepino's got bats.
I don't
What's
got a
that?
couple.
Tony Gwynn. Get back. I
There
wanted
was
bats.
That's
strawberry.
strawberry.
Oh,
Strawberry.
strawberry. I didn't know.
Love me some strawberry, dude.
Do you have
He's
any more
awesome.
questions? I like your questions, Pepino.
All right.
Give me a question.
Give me any question.
Teddy's hosting the show.
Let's take
All right.
questions from the chat.
Let's spice things up a little. Any
I love you
player,
fucking guys, by the
any
way.
vintage player that you could wish you could see them on steroids, full blast steroids. Who would you want? What vintage player would you want to see steroid out?
That's easy. Willie Mays.
Right? That's what
Willie
I say.
Mays. Oh my God,
So
Willie Mays.
there is a great books on tape of Willie Mays right now on YouTube. I suggest everybody. Dude, it's like 16 hours worth of Willie Mays of a book that came out recently. And it's really good. I mean, listen an hour at a time or on your way to work or whatever you're going to do with it. I listen to it in the middle of the night to fall asleep. That and also like Junk Wax Hero because he puts me right. That monotone voice. But no, literally, the books on tapes will really help you sleep. And then you remember, then you go back, the next day, then you go back to like kind of remembered, and you remember all this shit. But you're right, Willie Mays, man. He had some really rough streaks. He was a very streaky hitter. Yeah. And he passed out a lot. Like he would play almost every game, but like there was points where he would like get headaches and he'd go in the hospital for like 3 days to relax.
What's the name of it? Was it just an audible book of Willie?
I'll send you a link, but if you just type in like I don't know if Willie Mays books on tape, there's this one guy that's been posting a shitload of books. It's got Last Boy, the Mickey Mantle. If you've never read that, like I have the book, but I read it like 10 years ago. But now it's on books on tape. And I listened to it like 3 times already. It's 8 hours apart. There's like 2 parts. Then there's Roger Maris. There's Mays, McCovey, who you guys like. There's Ruth, Gehrig. I mean, Tony had mentioned that Gehrig story in that book about him, and that's all on this series. Yeah. No commercials. So if you're not paying for premium, you don't get commercials interrupting you even.
Yeah, I don't get commercials.
I pay for the premium now.
Yeah,
but
I'm kind of addicted to there's a documentary on Negro League on the history of the Negro League called The League on Hulu. And I watched it when it first came out and I just rewatched it again. And like, can you imagine Josh? He died so early. I forgot how young he was, but he died at an early age. Hemorrhoided up
in his 30s.
Yeah, 36, I want to say.
Yeah,
like they talk about like Effa Manley. They talk about Foster. Of course, they talk about Jackie and Dobie and Gilliam. All like the stars. It was just so fascinating. I could watch that thing all the time.
In that Mays book, they talk a little bit about Monty Irvin,
Oh, Monty,
and then
yeah.
crosses over to Larry Doby too a little bit, because like these guys are kind of like all intertwined in that time in the very early 50s, you know. And these guys, I mean, they really had such an impact on the game, and
Well,
I mean
Monty was
everybody.
like the mentor for Willie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Who
I
was?
thought Monty was it
Mhm.
Monty like
Yeah,
Willie's like mentor?
even
Like
though
he
he
looked
came
out for
up
him.
later, he was
Yeah,
already 30 when back in 51
yeah.
or 52 when he played, and he hit like 100 his first year. I mean, they were on to, even though he should have probably, or they're saying that not only Doby could have been the first
Yeah.
black person in the league, he could have been, because he was that good, you know. So he didn't make it until he was 30. So imagine, he's almost like a Nichiro type. He didn't make the Hall of Fame starting until he was 30, because he, after he finally got settled in the outfield and all was said and done, he started to hit after the first couple of years. And to make it with only, I mean, shit, he was out of the league when in 50. I don't remember any 59 baseball cards. He was out of the year, and he was
Um,
out in
I
5
just thought of a
years.
good one. I just thought of a
Come on.
good guy for steroids.
Who?
Charlie Hustle. Can you imagine? He used to run people over
Oh yeah,
without
right.
steroids.
I
Can you
never
imagine him in the
answered
All
that,
Star
but what
game?
about Ruth?
Ruth would have been good,
What
but
about
Fake.
Jose Canseco? What if Jose Canseco took steroids?
he'd be 80-80, bro.
He
80-80.
Yeah,
would,
right.
bro. He'd be 50-50
Well, I mean,
with
Shohei
a
was already
short base,
50-50.
with an oven mitt this big.
The oven mitt kills
Yeah.
me. It kills me. Ooh,
Ted
Ted
Kluszewski.
Klaczewski would have been
And
awesome.
That
every
would have
guy
been
gives
good.
no
That would have
respect.
been real good.
That guy,
Imagine.
I love this
Yeah, because his
57,
power. Oh,
57 Kluszewski with the cutoff sleeves. Hold
Yeah,
on, if you don't
love
have
that.
that
That's
card in
my
your
favorite. It's
collection,
one of my favorites, man. That makes
that's
me cream my
that's where
pants.
Mangini stole the idea from. None of his shirts have sleeves. He stole it
no.
from Ted.
But you know what? He's got guns for a guy from that's 67. Didn't he just have a birthday? He
He's
looks at
67.
least 70.
Yo, John, you're 67, homie.
Dude, he looks
Yeah,
at least he's not up this late.
nunchucking at 67.
He looks at least 70. That guy.
He doesn't look a day under 75.
No, he doesn't. But he's in shape. Dude, if I was in shape at his age.
I know he has a size 32 waist.
Are you fucking kidding me? I hate him already. I had a 32-inch waist in high school. I haven't seen my toes
I never
since
knew my waist size
1990.
because I always just bought giant pants.
Me.
That was the Stilo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. He works at it though.
Yeah, he
So,
sure is.
hey,
He's a
so
good one.
what YouTuber out of all the YouTubers that that you follow, who do you think takes the biggest dumps? Like just could clog up a toilet.
It has to be John 3D. I've already heard that he clogged up 3 fucking toilets at the National. He's sorry about that, John, but
I got kicked off. He got kicked off, bro. Oh,
Well, where'd he go?
legendary.
What did he do wrong?
He got kicked off, bro.
that wouldn't be the first time I got blocked. That's the funniest fucking thing ever.
Oh my gosh, this is
You
coming
are
off the
so
rails,
funny, John.
bro.
John,
It's
that
coming
is
off
so
the
funny.
rails.
No,
I got
Who do
got
you
it.
think? For me, I think it would be Eggman, our old
Who?
Eggman.
Eggman. Oh, CG Eggman, the guy because he eats a lot of eggs.
No,
Nah,
no, not him.
Egg? Who's the Eggman?
You don't know our Eggman in the hobby?
No,
Hey,
I
come
don't.
up, egg.
it cometh a egg. He doesn't do as many videos. They banned him too. You would like him. He has your type of humor.
They banned
YouTube.
him?
Yeah, YouTube has
How
struck
do I not have? How am I not
because they strike him. He
subscribed?
doesn't do as many videos no more.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
come up, egg. I think he could
Well,
take
that's-
a big ass. He could
Oh,
drop
yes,
some
yes.
big eggs.
I've seen him in the. I seen him in. Now I remember him in the chat. Yeah, I love the guy. I never knew he had a channel.
He has the
Well-
Andre the Giant like little thumbnail. He's a big Andre the Giant fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love who
His stickers,
doesn't
when he
love
sends the
Andre
cards,
the
his
Giant, the 5th wonder of the world. I'm the big Johnston. I'm gonna get you, big Johnston.
John Studd, how dare you go over the top rope? That's my thing.
Oh God, I've seen those guys at the Olympic Auditorium so many times. Big John Studd. My friends used to run security at those places and all those shows. They have pictures with all those guys. Big John Studd and Andre and fucking what's the guy with the Lou
Eddie's in
Naked
Albano.
pictures?
They're not naked, but they're. I mean, it's quite amazing that
Boring.
they were doing security for that whole group, and then we would just get into all the shows because we would just like walk in and hey
Man,
Zach,
see, man, I would love
get
to
us
have
in,
that
would you?
white privilege.
And they would set us up like right in front with chairs. They'd bring us chairs right up, like
Man,
folding
that's
chairs.
so awesome.
Those were back in the days. That was the 80s when.
Yeah,
things-
I used to go to my dad used to take me to a lot of WWF before because he would get them from work, like cheap tickets. I remember seeing like a battle royal with when Andre
Yeah.
the Giant and Eddie Guerrero and the not Eddie Guerrero, I forgot
Ricky the
Chavo Guerrero.
Steamboat. Ricky the Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat.
What's his name?
Junkyard Dog, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Tito
Dugan.
Santana.
My favorite wrestler has to be fucking guy that ate his lunch in a lunch bag in the
Jake
ring.
the Snake.
Don Morocco. Remember Don Morocco?
Yeah.
I don't remember
He
that.
would pin these guys, and then he would he'd grab his lunch, and it was like a bologna sandwich, and then he over the guy, he'd have him pinned, and he'd have him all laid out, and then he would eat his lunch right over him and spit the sandwich all over him, the bologna sandwich. You guys don't remember Don Morocco?
No. Ted
And how about
DiBiase, $1 Million Man.
Oh,
I remember like the Bushwhackers when I was growing up. Bushwhackers was
George the
big.
Animal Steel. George the Animal Steel. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know George the Animal Steel. He was a hairy bald guy.
He would eat the fucking turnbuckle.
Yeah,
And
I seen that. I didn't see him.
Do
wrestle.
you know he was a professor?
No, I did not.
He was really a true professor. Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon, he couldn't tell the difference between a wrist watch and a wrist lock. I used that line one day at one of my jobs in the 1980s, the Gorilla Monsoon line. He couldn't tell the difference between a wrist lock and a wrist watch. I got fired.
Yeah, Undertaker is great. Oh, Macho Man was. Oh, not
That's
Macho
not
Man.
Macho Man.
Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior.
The dude
Oh,
who wore suspenders,
Hot
Dylan.
Rod.
That is Hacksaw Jim Dugan with the 2x4, right?
Yeah,
That was right.
with the American
Oh.
flag.
Yeah. He was a dope.
The Ultimate Warrior, Sting. That's like my generation coming up.
Oh, my
Lex Luger.
generation was Freddie Blassie and fucking John Tolis. Those guys were badass.
Is that
Classy.
Stone Cold?
Who's that guy?
That's Stone Cold
That's
Steve
Steve
Austin.
Yeah.
That guy,
316.
he was a hero. And I've seen him many times too. I love him.
Yeah,
He's got
like
some-
once
he
I got
was
out of high
amazing.
school, I stopped watching. But like the 1-2-3 Kid, which later became X-Pac, 1-2-3 Kid was my guy.
We watched those all the way to our 30s. And then even in our 40s, so this was even in the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s, we were still going.
Yeah.
You know, like to the forum for the matches and shit like that. We love
Well,
them.
if you followed it that long, the Monday Night Wars was a real deal. WCW Nitro versus D-Generation X and WWF
Yeah.
or E.
Yeah,
that was
well,
awesome.
It was all like trying to merge and
Oh,
just
NWO
recently-
for life, baby.
yeah. Have you guys seen that special? Look at that.
Oh, my
Stretch
battery's
Armstrong.
about
What
to
the
die.
fuck is that? Oh, not
Miss
again.
Elizabeth.
So the show's gonna die here. We're almost done here, guys. So, but I have to tell the story about how my buddy,
I love Lita.
my buddy, travel. He gets on the Southwest flight, and coming up right before the door shut, sitting next to him is what's the Golden Boy's name? With the
Ric Flair?
Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo!
Ric Flair fucking sits next to him on the aisle seat there. and my
Rolex
son,
wearing,
he
limo
is
driving.
you know, he is a wrestling fan like I am. We've seen everything. We've been watching since high school.
Ric
But
Flair.
he gets in there sitting there, they're drinking and everything, and people are trying to get to Ric Flair, man. And he says, "Hey,
Oh,
do you
he's
wanna
in Tampa
switch-
all the time.
Is he?" So he says, "Do you want to switch seats with me so you can get on the?" He goes, "No, you need to probably protect me from the from all the people." But the story about him on that one flight that they had when they got stranded on the runway from some huge wrestling match, and they were grounded for like 15 hours. They drank every fucking ounce of booze on that flight, and they hassled the attendants, and they almost all got arrested. Maybe it was in Germany or something, but those wrestling stories are
Yeah,
great.
those stories about how much alcohol Andre the Giant could drink is crazy. But
Oh,
man,
yeah.
it seems like Wade Boggs matched them, man.
Man.
That's also a
Really?
great story. The Wade Boggs
Wade
only.
Boggs drank that much too?
Yeah, on a flight, on an airplane.
Oh, I didn't realize. I mean,
Oh,
but those
look that
little
up. I'm sure it's up somewhere. I
those
mean,
Coors Lights, because they drank
that was an
Coors
old story.
Lights.
I remember I've heard that story forever.
That Andre the Giant with the Coors Lights,
Like
it
drinking
looked like
vodka.
it looked like a thimble in his hand.
Yeah.
He could drink a case like at a nothing.
Well, his issue was like when he needed surgery from injuries from wrestling, the anesthesiologists, they were fearful. They're like, this could put out an elephant, like the stuff that they were trying to put in him. Like they were like very, very scared that he wouldn't wake up if they gave him too much. But they're like, we don't normally do too much because they're normal people. There's no 7'4", 500-pound guys. You know?
Yeah, he's one of a
Yeah,
kind at the time.
he was a monster, and I guess he sort of like me. He just kept growing. He never stopped.
Just your hair, bro. Your hair.
It never stops either. But whatever. What
Yeah.
are you gonna do?
His butt never stopped growing. He's got a badonkadonk.
For your all right, Pepino. Any last questions, or we're at 2 hours?
All
What, is
right,
your
man. Yeah,
bedtime?
man.
Is
I
your
can tell
bedtime,
you,
bro?
you want to go to
Hey,
bed.
don't you fucking
I'm
tempt
off.
me, dude.
I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, hey, don't tempt me. I'll fucking go on all night. I got a fucking full bottle.
No.
John's trying to go to
show,
sleep.
Hey, you shut this show off. I'll fucking go on with you all night.
Let's go.
What?
After
Right
party.
on.
My battery's gonna die. That's the only problem I have. I'll keep
Hey,
going.
you get that? You fucking charge. Put a fucking charger in that.
And then it overheats. But yeah,
You know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Let it fucking overheat for a little while.
Got that Metro PCS. What you
Yup.
doing, bro?
I don't know if I have any more autographs to show you. I should. Oh, I
Um,
have one more. I have a couple more. I'll show you. Let's just show this. I told this story. I don't know how many people saw it. I sat in an area where I saw Sandy
Is that-
Koufax the year before.
Is that
I went
Lugo?
on an old timers day, hoping to get Sandy Koufax's autograph, and he wasn't there.
Man,
But
I want that.
I got Don Newcomb
Man, I want his 50
with
Bowman
Sharpie.
so bad.
With
His
Sharpie.
50 Bowman
Now,
is a good one.
It really is. I caught this ball. Fernando threw this ball. Do you understand what a ball's like? That
Ball!
Fernando rubbed the ball up.
Looked into the sky.
He threw it. He looked to the sky. Lenny Dykstra hit this ball.
Nails.
Nails hit the ball. It went up over the screen. It hit the kid next to me. These two little stupid fucking kids. They were like 8. Yeah, they didn't have a chance. Look, I've been rubbed out of balls so many times. I've had a million balls. I never fucking catch them.
Balls!
I saw the ball underneath the thing, underneath the chair, and they had drinks, and I didn't give a shit. I put my big fat foot underneath there, and I pulled it towards me. I knocked over all their drinks, and I got the ball. And then, like 5 years later, I was hoping Koufax would sign it, but I got Newcomb.
So you have
That's
Ettore pitched it, Nails
Yeah.
crushed it, and then you
Yeah.
got Don Newcomb to sign it.
Isn't that crazy? That's the
That's
story, and
banana.
that's the truth. I was taking it to get because I saw Koufax the year before. I said I'm going to bring at the old timers day. I'm going to bring the ball. That I don't know if I told. I know I told the story on somebody on my buddy Dave, Dugout Dave story. But here's the ball. I mean, I've got about 10 of these too. I mean, you gotta have that.
Yeah, I don't have a Sandy, man. I need a.
This is not a good one.
rectify
It's got, you see how this has a little, I put this one out because it's got a little brown. The other 10 I have.
Oh, I was like, the auto itself though is beautiful. That's a
It's
pretty
Sol-
good.
You see how it's, you know who that is? That's Solly, Sauli. Solly.
I'll take a Solly.
Colfax.
If you're giving them out, I'll take a Solly.
I've got 10 Sollies.
Who the hell is Solly? I'll take
I
Solly.
don't know. He's some Jewish kid.
He's
I
got
don't
10
know.
salty balls.
He might be all right.
Look, it's kind of white. It wants to be white, except for where it's a little.
He's a Jewish kid from the neighborhood. He's a good
You know
kid.
what? I love him. He's such a dude. So that day that I saw him signing up there by my seats
Sandy,
in the,
you look
in the
like
90s,
a gangster.
he was signing autographs. This guy, like 3 feet away from me, for all these kids, and I just stood there like a dummy. I didn't have anything for him to sign. I just wanted to like look at him.
That's awesome, dude.
And
Look
I've
at my
seen him
balls,
before. I've
Sandy.
seen him before, but to see him like there, like on the club level, you know, and when the kids walked away, he looked at me almost like I was going to shoot him, like I was Mark David Chapman going to shoot Lenny.
Oh, my phone's about to shut down, guys.
I just said,
You
Sandy,
keep
I'm a
going.
big fan, and I walked away, and I said, the
I don't
next year
matter
I'm going
anymore.
to bring a ball,
Bye.
and I'm going to get it signed.
Take
But
over my show.
I've had so many there
Well,
goes Pepino.
Julio.
Are we done?
What's Pepino?
There's Pepino.
Cesar, what you doing, bro? Julio, what you doing?
We only get Pepino now.
Did
Are
you
we
not
on?
plug in your phone?
He said he couldn't
Oh,
go.
he looks so sad. That's that's the
Oh,
saddest
see,
thumbnail.
it's just you and I. So let me tell you more about these stories that I had at the game. The Kopak story.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Well, I don't know. I already fucking told the stupid story 10 times. You can only take my story so many times, you know. But I mean, the story is like I had these amazing like club box seats. Back in the day, there was just like 4 rows of seats, and I had KTLA seats from a friend of mine. This was in the 90s, and the Drysdale seats were right in front of me, and in back of me was Ross Porter. They did the play-by-play for KTLA, and I just had 10 games a year. I would have 4 seats. Oh, John's coming on. Are we still on, John?
Yeah, I'm fine. We're on the West Coast, Mike, so I'm good.
Just saying that Pepino got so much more handsome. I don't know what the hell happened. A little bit, but I'm telling the same old story, and how Drysdale, you know. So I actually had those seats too, like when Drysdale died, which was really sad. So Drysdale went to Van Nuys High. I'm telling Lou this now. Maybe some people have heard it. But both my parents went to Van Nuys High in the 1950s with Drysdale. Their first date was at the Coliseum. And I still have those, the tickets, the game they went. And so he was an important, just part of my Dodge, and then being a Dodger fan, and to get these seats in the 90s, and like here I'm in my mid 20s. I found a guy that worked at KTLA, happened to be a friend, and anyway, so I would get these tickets on Sundays. That was the day I always liked to go because my grandfather used to take me. I tried to take my daughter to the games. I wanted to and she's a Dodger fan now, but Drysdale seats were down there. And anyway, make a long story short, he died like right during the season. And it was just a sad thing. Annie Myers was right there. And I felt like he was cordial to us. Our kids played. I would literally leave in the 6th inning. My daughter would be fucking crying, and she want no part of it. And no crying in baseball. Have to leave in the 6th inning. But there were some good memories of just like Campanella being on that same level. Now that level is all corporate. It's all boxes and
yeah.
I mean, I could never afford to even sit there now, and I don't think I've ever sit there since those old days in the 90s. I've been down on the ground before there, and those dugout seats they have and stuff, but never in that club level.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same here. Like, if I want to get as close, I guess it's gotta be over the dugout. But like, luckily, my wife has access to, she works for Raymond James Bank, so we get access through them. But the prices have gotten so out of hand. The only way you could do it is through hospitality or through company suites to get those, boxes or behind home plate is just too much.
Well, I used to get them for my company, or I wouldn't get season tickets per se, but like when I started in business, or even 15 to 18 years ago. So I always tried to take my family 18 20 games. I did 10 games at Anaheim, which was quite a when Pulos came. But then I started to think, like, you know, and then all that money that I spent on those tickets when baseball started to piss me off, frankly, you wonder, like, why does this guy spend so much on baseball cards or what he does? I spent that money that was earmarked for bullshit. You still, you know, people forget that you know, when you're a business, you think it's a tax write-off, right? You still have to fucking pay for it.
Mhm.
You still have to make profit. Yeah, it's tax write-off. But if there's no return, you know, you get I would get 4 tickets in Anaheim, for instance. I get four tickets, the deals I had at Dodger Stadium. You can't give those tickets away. You know, you're stuck with them a lot of times, believe it or not. People
Hmm.
don't want to go. I mean, I used to be in like a group of, they would call me like last minute. I'm filler, you know, like they always knew they could call me last minute. I'd go. They don't want to waste the tickets. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, it's like 4 o'clock. Game starts at 7. Can you go? Yes, I'll
Yeah.
go. You know, and that's what that's what it turns into. So it becomes a waste of money, in my opinion. And I always felt that with baseball cards, at least I have the damn cards. And especially when Dodgers started to F the fans, with no KTLA, you had to buy cable, you know, and then the cable service sucked. And then you know, it was a while before DirecTV got them. I mean, there was literally 4 years when I didn't watch the Dodgers. And now I'm to the point where I take my grandkids like a game or two to Anaheim, a game or two to Dodger Stadium. Maybe I'll go to Petco because I like that, or I'll go to San Francisco. But that's it. I'm not going to any. They kind of lost the old timers, you know.
Yeah.
Yet they still draw 3 to 4 million fans, and the game's better than ever. You know, as far as like the quickness of the game, it used
Yeah.
to be you watch the grass grow. You know the outcome. Dodgers get behind. They put a shit product on the field most days, even though they win 90 games.
Well, I mean,
Like,
that's just a game of baseball. Like when it was slower before pitch clock, even my kids, they were the attention of this generation is not attention to detail. It's like ADHD. Like they need stuff going. That's why football is always pretty good. Hockey is great live. They love watching hockey.
oh,
I couldn't
who
get them into
doesn't?
baseball,
Hockey,
but
hockey is great live. Yeah.
yeah, but the kids now is a little bit better. Of course, we get decent seats, so they like having decent seats.
Absolutely. You know, you're in the
And
corner or you're in
yeah,
the action where you can actually see them checking it and hitting each other. It's an exciting
exactly.
game. Hockey is very exciting in
When
person.
when it was slow, honestly, I try to explain to them. They're always asking me questions. My little one, I'm showing them how to score the game, kind of
Absolutely.
like an old man does. But now
A-
with the fast pace, these rule changes have helped out with the younger
It
generation. But
has.
they at the end of the day, these kids, unless they love the sport, they're there for the popcorn. They're there for the cotton candy. My little one, Bob, she just likes ripping cards with dad, and she'll ask me
But you know
questions.
what?
Well,
But my
it's so much
That's a
better to
start.
watch.
yeah,
I
That's
mean,
a
those
good
guys
start.
that had the routines of like, I gotta fix everything on my arms, I gotta scratch my nuts
It's
3 times.
absurd. It was absurd.
I mean,
Really.
I liked it. It didn't matter to me.
I mean,
I'll be there
I
4
liked it. I
hours.
liked it. Oh, really? I mean, I
Yeah.
would always say, let's go to the Dodger Stadium to watch the grass grow, is what I would say.
I hate when it's a tie game and there's already a second someone on second. I hated that
That
because I'm
is
like, man, they're going to score on a base hit. I'm like, there goes my free baseball.
right. Well, but I mean, it's already enough that you're speeding the game up. Now you're
Yeah.
putting a guy on second,
Yeah.
and in the playoffs they don't do that.
I
At
think
least,
about
but
10 minutes ago, Theo asked to see your low eye appeal Jackie again.
all right. It's
Oh my
you
gosh,
can look up the number.
that's a grail card, bro.
Yeah, it really is for me.
Yeah, it's a
Here's the
grail
thing.
card.
You know, I joke, and I always say like, buy what you don't like, right? You guys think it's a joke, and I'm a fucking joke in the hobby. But here's the problem: I could have bought this card for $1,500 when I didn't like it, right? But over time, something happened, and I started to like it, and I had to pay 10 times the price.
Yeah,
So
that's one of those cards. catch my PTO when I retire, I could get that card.
And you know, and I didn't expect to get it in a 3, and at this time it's one of the cards on the top 5 of my, you know, last year I had a list of 100, this year I have a list of 5. So I'm trying to stick to that right now. I've been pretty good.
Yeah, I can't wait the year I decide
John
to
called it
retire.
ugly.
It's gonna be a good
John
one.
called it
Yeah.
ugly.
I say it's his worst looking card, honestly.
Oh,
The
no,
leaf,
John,
the leaf.
I don't disagree with you to the point where it's like maybe you're at where I was at 10 years ago. Okay, because when I decided and I jumped back in the hobby in 2005, I don't have 149
There you
leaf
go.
or 148. I didn't want that shit.
I
Because it
I
looks
completely
silly.
disagree.
made in my video right there.
I completely disagree. I think his worst one is the 50. Everyone loves his 1950 Bowman. I think it's his worst card. The
The
49.
facial expression on the leaf is radio, and his other cards are Cuba Gooding Jr.
What?
Cuba
You've seen
Gooding Jr.
the movie Radio?
Yeah, radio.
I don't even
Yeah.
know the movie.
He's like a special needs football player or something like that.
He
I never
becomes
watched it.
like a guy tied with a college football team.
Yeah, he's
but
like a
anyway,
mascot.
You know, when
That's
you
a
have
beautiful
all,
card,
when you
man.
Or a
have
high
when you
school
have
team.
when you have all the Jackies already. Now, I'm not going to go into like some of these guys, like guys I know. They're in deep in the Jackie sign cards.
Yeah,
They're out there. But you know, one thing that I'm
that's
not.
tough.
I mean, I need to be able to see the autograph too. And Jackie does not have a lot of legible autographs on.
There we go. I got a
cards.
Hall of Famer on my side there.
Oh, Eddie in the
My
house.
actually, my favorite Jackie,
Me too.
honestly, is the 54 tops. That's my favorite Jackie, if I have to be honest.
I don't have him right with me, but I have a nice, gorgeous PSA 7 Jackie. And I mean, I have all
Thanks,
my
Ruben.
Jackies.
I appreciate it, bro.
I've got all the Jackies. I've got the 52 in a beautiful centered. You know, that was one of my first ones.
Hey.
I got that for like $2,000 or something.
I am happy for anybody that's happy that they have a card.
No,
You
he
know?
just,
But you know,
Theo,
what?
it's a rookie card. That's why he
I'm
crapped on it.
happy, but it's not a Grail card for me.
You know, if Lou Rock loves that name badge, Roy Campanella, then he can love it, you know?
I love it, dude.
I
The
love
Campy's
Roy
good.
Scribbanella.
49 Bowman is my love language. I'm trying to attack. That's why I'm trying to attack this year. 49 Bowman is
The
what
49 Bowman Campy.
No, 49 Bowman in general.
In general, you have
yeah.
the Campy.
I have the Campy, yeah.
So here's the thing. I've got all the cards that I ever wanted. I don't have the Campy in 49. I start in
Really?
50. Well, because I didn't like
The 50
49s.
the 50 Campy is beautiful too.
But I didn't like, you see what I'm saying? I did not like those 49s and 48s and but I stopped. So now I'm going back. I didn't like them. I wish I would. I'm trying to.
Are they growing on you?
Yeah. Well, you gotta have them in all.
The Yogi 48 Bowman.
Don't
I
have
love
it.
that card.
Didn't
I
like
need
it.
it. I don't have that one either.
Buy what you don't like. Not
The
buy.
early Bowmans. The
Buy
early
what you
Bowmans
like.
are so
Buy
sick.
what you like.
Yeah.
Buy what you like. Don't buy what you like because you don't know. You need to buy what's fucking out. What the cards that are classic. And
But if you like everything, that's the problem.
Don't you learn to love everything in a sense?
I love it all, dude.
I used to hate 54 Bowman. I used to hate I bought all the tops first. Then I bought. Dylan wants me to show it again. Which Mantle?
Man, he missed it. He showed like 20 mantles, bro.
Which Mantle?
Man, that 54 Robinson is just beautiful to me. I love 54 tops in general. It's such a great set,
but you know what? I love that. Once I start looking at those tops, I'm saying, I go back. I love the 56 tops. Oh my god, it's so nice. Then the 55. Oh, it's so beautiful. The 54. Oh, and what about the 53 with the cartoon? The
53. A lot of people like it. I like 53, but I don't love
And here's
it.
the funny thing about John. Now that we got him on the screen here, and we're already 2.5 hours into this, and I'm fucking drunk out of my mind.
Child's play. It's easy.
And he's laughing already. But I have to tell him about the Monty Irvin pig nose. The pig nose card. The 53 Monty.
Where he's all looking up all
he
weird.
looks up, and you know what? Mantle's got the pig nose on the 53, right?
Is photographer's fault.
I don't.
Having
Well,
them pose like
it's
that.
a drawing. It's a drawing, though. But
Yeah,
the
but I
point
mean,
is
weren't they
that
based off
card.
real pictures, like
Probably.
renderings?
I think
Yeah,
they are, yeah, but they're drawings. But the thing is that art was sold in 1987, that 53 tops art. And that fucking art is classic, you guys. It sold in 87. When's the last time you ever saw any of that art come up for auction?
that's locked.
Never. Do you know why?
Collectors have it.
It went for 8 fucking thousand back in the 80s.
Collectors have it. That's why.
Right. That's why, because the real collectors really have it. And that Monty Irvin is a classic card. And when you see that card like in an 8, which I have it in a 4 or a 5, and it's off center, and I bought it for $20, but I have to have it.
Hey, put up Rick's comment. We're talking about 48, 49 Bowman. He's talking about those are modern cards, bro. Rick is hardcore, man.
I know, but
well, I don't get
back
in
to
the
Monty.
53
So
set.
the guy, here's the thing that comes full circle. That guy Pete that we talked about at the beginning, that he wanted that Jackie card, and then all of a sudden when he came up to show us again the second time, that he bought that Satchel Paige, that fucking gorgeous 2018.
I gotta look that up, man.
You really should. It's got to be a 1 of 1, right? It didn't say 1 of 1, but I mean, it's the only cut auto. It's like it had his big old fucking leg, that big leg kick, and then underneath Satchel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If they design it well with the cut auto, it could be perfect.
It really, like I said, I really, it was like almost like I need to start collecting these. Like I swear, my heart went. You like a new guy, a guy that was like watching us for advice, right? And we're not giving advice. We're just telling what we do. And I had another guy come up to me and tell me about the burrito and how how it made so much sense about how he's built. I go, yeah, it really, you build your own burrito in a sense, whatever, but you have to look at it that way. Your top stuff is here, you've got we all build burritos in a sense. Burrito principle.
John, what were you gonna say? 53 tops.
Yeah, Monty Irvin.
I was gonna say one I don't get people liking is the 53 Yogi Berra.
Some people don't, but I like it.
He's got this chiseled chin. I mean, I call it Yogi Zoolander.
Chiseled chest. Here's the problem, jerky.
The chin it's not his face.
Busted. Well, he looks like Chris from Missouri with that chiseled chest, the chiseled face.
53 tops is one of the most overrated sets. Boom, I said
really?
It. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so my point being is, so after he showed me that satchel, right? He didn't get the Jackie because unfortunately yours truly got it, but he got the satchel. And I noticed like one other dealer, like he had that Monty. That Monty was on my mind is because what John had said. Oh, I hate that card, or it's an ugly card. I said, the card's not that ugly, but here's a modern dealer. He had that one. He had like a PSA 6. It was nice, right? Fucking center. I really want it. And then Pete, at the end of the show, I went up to him and said, "What did you get? Anything else? It was great to meet you. And sorry, but I had to show him the Jackie. You didn't get it this time, fella. Mike Petty, unfortunately, but you'll get yours at the National." He had that Monty Irvin. Besides the satchel, I showed it to my friend. I go, can you believe that he has this card? It was gorgeous, in my opinion. So for what it was worth, he caught 2 cards that day. One was this beautiful satchel, and he knew enough, or he ended up with that Monty. Once there was a man named Monty. Yeah. Anyway.
I wonder if Pepino's trying to charge his phone or he just went to sleep.
I can't believe we're on here after 2
Well, I think Dylan here is admitting he doesn't like what Yogi actually looks like. So
that is my favorite Yogi card, man. There's so many better. Like the 50 Bowman Yogi is top notch. Like, how do you not love that card?
Yeah, the 51 tops.
No,
that's
51 tops. Oh, the low redback.
Yeah,
I don't have that one.
It's a classic card, but the 50 Bowman is one of his nicest. It's expensive.
Yeah, it gets up there. 50 Bowman is beautiful. I love it.
It is.
That's the
You know,
set you should like, John. There's no the biggest Hall of Fame. The biggest rookie in that is a non-Hall of Famer in Don Newcomb. There's no real
Yeah,
rookie. People will
I have,
appreciate that set
and
for
I
what it
have the.
is.
I'm
The
gonna
Ted
tell
Well,
you the.
Williams,
I've
the
decided
1950 Ted
already I'm
Williams.
never going to be a set collector. I guess I am now. I've learned a type collector. So
A what
Yeah,
collector?
a type collector, as
Oh,
in I'm
type.
trying to get as many different sets as I can with
The John
my Hall of Fame
Mangini.
Hall
Yes,
of Fame
you
man.
run
know,
at the same time.
that is a. I mean, that's a good strategy, all in all. But like when you get to be my age, you'll be into the players that you really like and the cards that you like and stuff.
Mike, how old
But
are
like
you? What do you mean your age?
me,
Yeah.
you know, I'm fucking older
Well, how old are you,
dirt.
bro? How old are you, bro?
I'm
Look
gonna
at
be
your head.
60 when I'm 64.
Ooh, and you
Will
don't
you
dye your
still
hair?
need me? No,
Nice.
I don't. And I
There you
very
go.
little, hardly
There's a
any
comment
gray.
I agree with.
Well, hopefully it's not bad.
Yes, the 53 Bowman Pee Wee is overrated.
52 to 53. No,
Yeah, the pose
well,
jumping over.
it's not really overrated. It's
It's very
nice.
overrated.
The
Oh, it's
whole
the most
set
gorgeous
is
card in the game. No, it's not.
the thing.
Exactly. That's
Here's
what
the
gets
thing.
to me
Here's the
is
thing.
hearing that over and over.
That particular set kind of set the groundwork. I like. First of all, I'm not a Bowman guy. I, when I started my collection, it was tops only.
Yep.
I only went into Bowman because it was the only thing left. And then you start, I didn't like it, but then you start liking it.
Yeah.
And
The early
that set
Bowmans are
really
awesome.
did really set the stage, the 53 Bowman, all in all, with the pictures. The first set with really great pictures. And that
The
wasn't
best
really a
low
picture.
sets are 50, 51, and 52. Come on. I
Well,
think.
I
Were
mean,
those
53
pictures? Those
had
weren't
like the
The
mini.
pictures.
53, it's its own entity.
The
I mean,
53
Right.
Minoso is by far the greatest in
Well,
that set.
it's his greatest, but the
Nah,
53,
I love
but
that
the
card.
50, what about the 53 Mantle?
It's like we had that plan. The 53 Minoso.
The
That's just a
53
beautiful card.
Mantle. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That is a shot that's in there
Facts.
actually is a upper deck picture, that they have that he
Facts.
had him sign. I've got that. I don't have it here in front of me, but I mean that picture is just legendary. I mean that and all those pictures in the color, they ran out of money and they started making black and white at the end. And there was only really one or two Hall of Famers, Stengel and Hoyt Wilhelm in the black and white.
Rick said you're old, bro.
Dude, hey, look, I'm old. Take a look at that fucking guy, Rick.
He said you're old.
He's like a goddamn fossil. That fucking guy,
Orlando,
isn't he?
facts, 100%. That is Minoso's best card, and he has a lot of nice
Actually,
cards.
Rick is so damn handsome and so good looking for his age.
You can't
I
afford
believe
me.
I'm older. I don't know. I don't think I'm older than him, but I'll tell you, some of these guys like Rick Acosta, he was telling me, I just turned 60. I go, dude, you look like hell for 60. I'm 63. At least I look effort. I don't look great. I mean, I don't look great or anything, but
oh,
hey, let me buy you a beer at least.
That's funny, bro.
But
I
and
like Rick.
Orlando's the guy that look. I mean, Orlando he's got gray hair, but
Rick looks good.
he's so damn handsome. He just gets me. He's so good looking, and he's thin and in good shape. Everything I used to hate when I was back in the day as a guy. Like all the girls would flock to Orlando, not me.
Oh, I'm so sad I'm not going to Strongsville.
Yeah, because
I'm
that's a
sad.
good show, and that's going to be my last time in Strongsville for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to hit Chicago next year, not this year. I just got too much
You'll
stuff
go.
going on.
That's because that's where the national is, right?
For like the next 3 years, this year, next year, and the year after is in Chicago.
Right.
So
And I'll probably go to the national, but I think I'm going to go back east next year instead of going to or further east instead of going to Strongsville again for the third time. I'm going to either go to Philly. I'm going to go to one because they have great card shows out there.
Yeah.
This card show here on the West Coast, we think that's a great card show. It's really not. You got 10. I mean, look, when one of the top dealers is fucking a misstep, George and his buddy Levon and Eric the Buttnut next to him. Those are the only guys. Those are the only guys, that are. There's only 10 good dealers there, And 3 of them you can see up north. You might get 1 in Pasadena, and you got Ash, right? So Ash is kind of the guy that's really helped the hobby because you can trade him all your shit. He's got a case full of
Well,
dog shit.
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Ash, so I gotta
Well,
try to fix that.
you're almost up there in the Ash game. Bring some cards to trade and throw them all at Ash. He'll give
I
you
don't like trading. I'll
50%
just
on the
bring
dollar.
cash. I'll bring cash.
You should. Look, I've never liked trading either, but
Yeah.
lately, like if you get stuck with shit or something you really don't like, he'll get you out of it, and at
Mhm.
least it helps a little bit. It's not a 1-for-1 trade or anything like that. Like our trade night that we're gonna have in Strongville, that's gonna be fun. And I think like what are we about? What is it? I forget what month
It's
it is.
April,
So
right?
March, April.
It's gotta be
So
April.
like I think you guys
6
should
weeks
start
out.
doing we should start doing like a few things about like what you bring, like I'm gonna bring about 10 to 20 cards or maybe more. And stuff that's tradable, between $50 and 200.
I need a personal
We're
shopper. I need a certain card.
I'll tell
You,
you, do
you
you
can
need a
bet we'll
certain
have a few Strongsville themed shows on this
I
here
know you
little
will. I know
network
you
here.
guys are you
So
guys are always like doing good, great. And look, the Four Collectors channel is I can't believe we don't have 2,000 subscribers here yet. It's a fucking crime, really.
How many subscribers you got with no channel? How many? I know people
I
subscribe to
think
you,
like I have less than 100, but
but it's still you got no
I don't
content.
know why and hey, by the way, I'm gonna leak out now that it's like 2:35 into it. Nobody's listening.
Oh,
There's only
what you
like
got?
we're down to like I'm gonna be doing a monthly talk show.
what are you
What?
doing? Jeremy's show
No,
once a
no.
month?
Hey, you don't think that a big guy
You,
like him is
you're
gonna
doing
have
it with Orlando, aren't you? You doing it
hey,
with Orlando.
he doesn't even know how to set up a talk show.
Who you doing it with? You didn't call
I
me.
can't tell you. It's a secret.
Oh,
It's a
I'll pay you
hobby
more.
secret.
I'll pay you
I'll
more.
tell you
Come on my
later.
channel.
I'll show you the no, but no, look, nobody look, the fact that you guys like I love Four Collectors. I will say. You guys have been like really good to me and like, you guys are all great collectors. I'm just trying to play my part. And I'm really seriously only into this. Show my collection, but I want to grow your channels. You guys all want to grow your channels. Some of the, I'm polarizing all in all. But it's
But you told
funny
me I was
because
your favorite channel. Is that a lie?
we no, I mean at the beginning you only had 1,000 subscribers. You were my favorite. You and Dylan were my favorite channel, dude. A year ago I came on you
Yeah,
with you and
we
because
were going live.
I told Orlando look I want to go on with you Orlando after 6 months he said I don't go live or I go I want to then how about Lou? He goes I know Lou. You go talk to him and you were on with Dylan, and so like literally like
And
if
that's
it
where the
wasn't for
explosion. That's where it all popped off for
you
you.
saw it. I mean, I was fucking fire. I was like pent up with aggression. I swallowed a lot of pizzas as well as a lot of aggression.
That was
Off
a great
person.
night.
It really
It was
was. But
it was funny. The Misfits came on and they're like, "Lou, that's the quietest you ever been on a live stream." I'm like, "Well, Petty never
I
goes
mean,
live. No one knew who he was." I'm like, "I had to let him talk."
well, the thing I always joked about is I was this Hall of Fame and all this kind of thing. Like I said before, every one of you guys that make content, and you could whether you're getting 50 fucking views, I'll go on with somebody that's getting 50 views. I don't care. I really don't. I want to help people to get more. I don't know that I can get. Look, people either like you or they hate you,
That's it.
right? If they hate you, maybe they'll watch. So I'm probably 80% of the people like me, 20% hate me. I don't give a shit.
I think it's more
I'll
60-40.
Right. Maybe 60% like me. Oh, 60% hate me, 40%. And I'm not getting you any extra views, but it might be, I might get you to look at the next. But what I'm saying, my point is every one of you guys that try to make content and you have a channel, you've put yourself out there. I don't do that. I can do a lot of things. I can go live. I can be myself. I can be a dick. I can show my dumb collection. I cannot do a channel. Okay, for not only technological reasons, but just for mental. I work. You know, and
Yeah.
whether I'm working busy or not, I don't want to get cut up. How many views I got? How many?
Yeah.
The same reason I'm not in the registry. You know, we're all anal in some to
Yeah.
be a card collector in some respects. You know,
No
whether you
OCD
yeah, and
preferences.
like
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
going
part
to
of
get
collecting.
into a
Yeah.
negative comment. And look, everybody's getting negative. Gonna get, you know,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna get a negative comment tonight about me. I'm gonna go in afterwards and try to get you hits and thank everybody for watching or whatever because you need to try to get this channel in an algorithm or what. But the point being is I really just love the hobby. I love the damn
Yeah.
stupid cards. And now that the autographs are all that's why I'm starting to show some of these balls dumb what I've done because I was in autographs before any of you guys started. Be careful of the fakes out there. I try to tell my friends, look, don't jump in like just because it's PSA
I'm just
doesn't
going
mean
by
you
one
get
of yours.
yeah, whatever. I can whatever.
I
But
need a mantle. You got them overflowing, bro. You
I
ain't got
do.
much
I've
time.
got the I need you don't have a mantle ball?
No. That's one of
The
my
mantle
regrets because I could have gotten them at at these mall shows when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I was looking at Kevin Moss, Brian Taylor, Greg Jeff. I was a kid. Jose
I know.
Canseco.
But
Those were
doesn't
the
it take?
guys.
But doesn't it? It's weird. Like, so here's the funny thing. So when you were a kid,
Mhm.
you're like 99 out of 100 of kids. All
Yeah.
the kids are that way, right? You see what you. But like, there are some kids like me that did look back, even back in the 70s. I don't know why, but I
Well,
just did.
you're correct. But like the guys I looked back at were like Orlando Cepeda, Clemente,
Right.
Campaneris, the Spanish guys, because that's who my father talked about.
Yeah.
Like I knew Mantle, but it's just it's your environment, right?
And you have enough mantle. You as long as you have a little representation,
Oh yeah,
you know
you
and
gotta,
then you have and you do have all the other things that you like to collect
Mhm.
and like you're into the on-card autos and what and obviously you're going to continue with that and those things are
Right.
always going to become special to you and to your children and at someday to your grandchildren. That the point is we need to pass the love for
Yes.
this stupid game at whatever it's become today. It's different than it was back then, but it's still a great game. And we just need to pass it on to our kids, which we have, and our grandkids. You don't have grandkids yet. I do. I've been lucky
I
enough
told
to
my son
pass
to
it
wrap
on.
it up. He's in college. I told him to wrap it up. I'm too young. I'll be
Dude,
44. I'm too young to be a granddaddy.
hey, I'll tell you what, dude. I sent my daughter away to college with a fucking MasterCard and a birth control
Yeah.
prescription. And a week later she was pregnant. So it doesn't
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
no, I mean she took a little late start. So she's 35 and she's finishing pharmacy school now. She's the
oh,
oldest one
nice.
in her
So she's a
class. But
drug dealer. Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
I mean I raised them good, we at least they're legal drugs. Even though you know damn well those are the worst kind. You know more than anybody, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you see
I
what that
do.
shit. And
Yeah.
I've never been into that shit and the pills and crap. I think
It's,
they're
I
bad.
call it job security, brother.
I guess
Yeah.
we prescribe people to their death, and
If,
that's what.
what still say? Misfits ticket.
What's that?
It's not that hard of a ticket. If you want to come on, we can come on. Hump day. Hump days are usually our day.
Dollar bin box back then, yeah, and that was okay. I was in the dollar bin boxes because I love to build sets. And the thing is, there's a lot of people at these shows building sets. People would come up to me and even the guy that said the burrito, hey, I saw you on the burrito, or on Craig's show and the hobby relevance. He goes, and I'm building my own burrito. I go, that's the whole key. Like you find out what I told you before, what's in your burrito. His
Heck yeah,
burrito
Kmart.
was 52 tops. He's funneling through, he's building the 52 top set. So like whatever floats your boat
That's right.
and
Here,
whatever
the
and
most expensive card I bought as a kid. I think I spent like $25 on this guy, Dale Murphy rookie.
yeah. I mean, that was a very popular card back then. You still have it though.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Man.
look, the fact that you're in your 40s, even though you look like you're in your 50s or 60s, the fact is that you still have that. The fact that you still have that though, it's a miracle, John. I mean, seriously, it shows like just the fact, like you're with your wife, you have your kid. By the time I was 40,
He's 50.
I was losing my baseball cards.
Yeah, I am
You know,
actually 50. I was the oldest four collector until Dan joined us.
thank
That's the only
God.
reason you let him in.
Well, but and Dan's a great guy. He adds a lot to your channel
He's a
too.
knowledgeable cat.
Because
Very
I'm
organized.
a few days older than Cesar. So
Real, yeah. See, but like Dan, you need a guy like him that he can handle the show. You know what I
Man,
mean?
Mike,
Like
I
he
cannot wait to drink with you, bro. It's gonna
we're
be
aren't
such
we
a good
drinking
time.
now?
I'm talking about in the flesh.
Well, you can see what I'm capable of, and I'm not even. The thing is like, it's really nothing for me. I mean, I'm a once a weeker.
Mm, it, it depends on my weeks. Sometimes
You
it's
have a
more
stressful
frequent.
you have a stressful job. You can
Yeah,
drink where
it
it's
depends
part
on
of
the
your
week.
job. It's part of your job. For me,
Oh
not
Lord.
so much. I just enjoy it, but I love talking about baseball cards. All right, guys. So what do you think about wrapping this up tonight? We've talked a long time. We can't believe there's still 50 people out there.
yeah, I got 48 is listed as the viewers. So
My God, is there any other questions that these guys could possibly have? No.
well, if you put them on the chat there, I'll actually read them as opposed to the Caesar
Ignore
What do I
them.
moderation,
know?
which is
You
ignoring.
ignore them,
So
bro.
I
There's
don't.
people.
I can't look at the stupid chat.
Hey, I
I
got my
don't follow
glasses.
it.
I can read the chat.
Oh
But
shit! You're
let me get on.
misfit. Rick is gonna go. Who's going on with the miss? I'm just reading this chat.
50. Wow.
Theo said John is now on 20 minutes without a word. John, you're a saint, dude. You really are. I mean,
hey,
you're a
I
great
let the
producer.
talent do their thing. So
You let the talent. I'm hardly talent.
I
Yeah, so
mean,
let's all tune into Penny's talk show once a month, coming to a screen near you.
but
The
what channel
channel.
am I
what
looking?
channel is
We're
that going to
gonna
be on?
have to.
What channel am I looking for?
You're
If it's
gonna
not,
have to find it on the same bat channel. It's not on the Four Collectors.
It cometh an
They
egg.
didn't
He missed
ask.
the wrestling
Four
talk.
Collectors don't ask.
oh, Eggy, we were talking
I'm a
about you,
big
homie.
boy.
We were talking wrestling. We were
Egg
talking
boy.
about how YouTube is coming after you, striking you.
Why is the YouTube coming after my friend the
Oh,
Egg
I'm
Boy?
sure. I mean, he's got some adult humor. He's
Like
talking about.
what?
I don't know. I mean, I
Tell
love
me.
him.
Hey, talk to
He's
me.
a
This is
He
okay.
loves wrestling,
Yeah.
not
You know.
wrestling.
And he talks about wrestling and they cut him off on
No,
YouTube.
I mean, I don't know.
Those
I'm sure
fuckers.
someone complained. Someone
Like
complained about him.
what?
I don't
Over
know,
what?
bro. You're preaching to the choir. I love Eggy.
I
Eggy's
want
my
to hear
guy.
Eggy. Hey, can somebody get a hold of Eggy?
Hey,
Papa Eggy.
Eggy, you want to come on the channel live? I'll put you on. He never shows his
There's a
face though.
question: 49 Bowman or 49 Leaf?
In regards to Jackie,
Anybody at this point, I get. Well,
oh,
here's the thing.
I love
For
Bowman.
me. I mean, if you have to pick one, like I said, I never liked them. When I was a kid, I liked the tops.
Mhm.
Old, since I'm thinking myself as a 13-year-old, right? 10-year-old. I had a
Right.
Bowman. I had a DiMaggio leaf back, but I didn't think it was real. Even back then, I thought it was fake. But when it came time to collect, I didn't like them.
Mm.
I wish I would have bought what I didn't like. Like I said,
Like the 49
buy what
Bowman.
you don't like. Take
Bible.
another look. Take another look, is what I'm saying. I don't like it. I'm going to go on to this. But
I loved it. I just couldn't afford it. I'm at a point in my
They
life where I
weren't
could.
expensive like 10
Well, I
years
mean,
ago.
bro, 15 years ago, me and my wife were coming up. We had toddlers. We were paying off student loans. Just bought a house. I'm just in a different point in my life now where
You all are. All you 40-year
yeah,
old collectors, look, I respect the shit out of all you and John 50, because I didn't have dick. The fact that you guys all have houses, families, and you're
yeah,
successful, yeah, you have retirement coming.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a card collection you've had for years. This is amazing. It is. It really.
But
You
this
don't
is
try to
like,
compare yourself to fat old guys like me and
but
Orlando. And
I'm the point is I'm getting to be that fat old guy now, and I'm in a point in my
well,
life where I could get
you're
these
only
cards.
43, but you're going to retire soon, or you're going to
My
retire
wife is
early.
hoping. My wife is hoping. I mean, I'm making decent money now, and
So
there's a
thank
lot of
God.
cards. I told her there's a lot of cards I want to get, and the 40.
Make a list and
Yeah, like I'm
give her
like
a
Steven
hyperlink.
Steven with a PH. My man said he's still working because he likes it, he enjoys it, and there's cards he wants to get.
And he
I'm,
can work.
yeah,
People still want him because
yeah,
he's got
and
it. You know,
I
he's a
mean
great guy,
to
and he
answer
could have
that
retired
question,
years ago.
yeah,
You
to
know,
answer that
but
question, I love 49 Bowman. I mean, it's a beautiful set, and that thing is real. John, cover your ears. Riddled with Hall of Fame rookies. You got Duke Snyder. You got
Hodges
oh my gosh, Gil
can't
Hodges,
be.
Campy.
I
You
don't have
got
any of those.
Dobie. You got
That's going to be a list
Satchel.
for another time, no doubt.
Jackie. Oh my gosh, man. It's
I
just
have the
riddle. I
Jackie,
love it.
but I think Jackie
Richie
might be my only.
Ashburn. Don't forget Richie.
Mhm.
Richie's in that one.
Look, hey, I've got a run of Ashburn, but I don't have the 49.
Oh
You
man,
know,
you gotta get
like
that one,
I've
bro.
got a complete run. I love Richie. So my point is like I never liked the 49 Bowman. I wish I would have bought them.
No,
Do you understand?
I'm
Buy
with you,
what you
bro.
don't like. Give it a chance to like it.
Rick is calling it. You going on with Mike Junk Wax. That's who you going with once a month.
No, he would never have me. He's way too. I don't want to put people to sleep.
Nah, you might threaten his monetization. He can't have you on there, bro.
I don't do a newsletter and I don't have sponsors. Are you kidding? They'll kick me right the fuck
You
off.
can't cost these cats money, man. Junk Wax makes too much money. You can't go on there cussing.
No, but anyway, you guys will find out next week. It's going to be announced. I think maybe it might even be exclusive on the Four Collectors channel. And I
Well, the
see John
Misfits
though.
will counter that offer. You can come to
Oh,
the Misfits every
no, I
Wednesday.
can't. Like, you guys,
Every
John.
Wednesday we'll counter, bro.
I text with John, and I love. Trust me, John knows damn well if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be the fucking president of the hobby, right? Do we all know that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
because
answering my boy Ruben.
your connection with sports card radio and all that.
Yeah, I mean
crap.
that was the
Yeah.
thing. They wanted me to. Everybody always said Mike Petty for president. I'm not going to be a president of the hobby. John Mangini is the one that deserved to be the president of the hobby. That he has incredibly ridiculous takes. He's been on YouTube for 10 years that I know of. There is nobody that is more respected and more deserving than John Mangini to be president
my
of the
guy.
fucking hobby. So I said, I nominated him that night to be president of the hobby. And then we worked certain things. John happened to have a picture of him and Alex that was
Film it
taken
to
at
me.
a card show, and I leaked that, to Sports Web Radio and trying to get him elected and all that. But I mean, the point is that, and that's just it's all a joke, obviously. But in the senses, it's not a joke because he represents the hobby better than any of us could. He's just very articulate in his way. He comes out, he does his rants, and his rants are right on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, all in all, the grading shit. He is a collector. He collects some new stuff and old, but mostly he has amassed a collection over years, more than I ever have, and more
He
than Rick
collects
has.
everything,
But
man.
but but he'll never ask me on a show. He doesn't ask me. You don't see him asking. I'm not doing the show with him. It's not a big show with John Mangini, and the missteps. I'm in for the long haul, just to help my buddies, guys that I love. And there's a handful of people. I mean, I definitely love Lou the Rock. Obviously, I love John. I love everybody at Four Collectors. They've been very nice to me, and I've had some ups and downs in the last year. On camera here and there. Like whatever it is. The thing is, I just love the hobby, and I'm gonna continue to just
Man,
spout my truth from an old guy.
who
It's
is
always
this mystery channel? I can't think of
we
it.
don't get asked on the missteps. No, we don't. We're not. We're not. I love George is one of my. He's my third favorite misstep.
I'm your favorite though.
You're my favorite, definitely. Yeah, and then it's a tie for second with Rick and John. But John is dropping. I got to tell you, he's not.
John is
He
he's
never
dropping to
asked
the
me.
ranks.
He never asks me anywhere near his show. He doesn't want me anywhere near him.
I'm surprised he even talks to me sometimes. I'm like, man,
I
this
was
guy.
just gonna say, I'm surprised he even answers my text.
There you go. He's jealous of your hair.
um,
No,
and I
that's
heard him
fine.
say the other day he was only 57.
Yeah, he just had a birthday, Valentine's.
That's what he
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
I think
Oh.
he's shaving that. I think he.
Ooh,
Well,
that's
if
a good
Mookie
guess.
says he knows
Mookie
the
knows
Mystery
the
Channel, then
channel.
we're leading right to Greg's doorstep,
No,
aren't we?
Come on,
Greg's
Mookie.
Greg
Give it
has
up,
his
Mookie.
live. Greg had his chance. He's doing his own live, and Greg's channel is growing big. And everybody comes up to me at the ESD. I'm surprised. Like I probably had 10 people come up to me, and more than half said that they watch Greg, and that they either watch me on his channel or they. And I told them, look, that guy's a great teacher. Let's just face it. Every new collector, instead of going to Jeff Wilson, if they got patched into Greg instead, you know how much better
Well, you
off
can
they
tell
would
he's a
be.
teacher the way he's on there and
He's
presents and
just so
talks. Yeah.
positive, and you know how hard it is to talk into the camera. Well, you guys do know somehow, right? I've tried it only one time. I failed.
And you
I'm a
scrapped it.
fucking failure. I scrap. I tried it once with Theo. I can't. I mean, you're just talking to a stupid screen. You know, it is not an easy thing. But Greg makes it like really easy, and because he's kind of used to it as a teacher. Teachers make good uh, copy. You know, and I've had a lot of
Presenters.
teachers. I mean, I went to college till I was 30. I've seen lots of different people in the world, and a lot of teachers, and he's the best I ever saw. It's what drew me to him, actually. And I'm happy as hell to be his friend and be in that group. I'd much rather be in that group and that misstep than the other misstep that you got. Mike, give me a good kaboomy rant, will you? God, what can I tell you? I've
Case
had
hit.
so many in the
Love
past, but
one.
so people were saying like the kaboomies. I mean, a kaboomy, one of one, finite, aqua, with some kind of a PMG on the side, kaboomy, with an I. But people were coming up to me and saying that I should trademark that because
Well,
they were.
did you see the Jeremy Lee interview with Victor, rookie card specialist?
I missed Victor, but I saw the Mike Baker. What did Victor say?
Well, I mean, they were pretty much so the whole premise of it all, because Victor kind of spoke on it, because I didn't catch the live stream, but I caught some of what Victor was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much has the rookie card lost its luster. And Jeremy was basically saying, for me, anything after 89, because honestly, the Griffey Chase, I remember I was trying to get that card. I thought that was our 52 Mantle. We thought
It
you hit that
was.
card, you were going to retire like the Mantle. So I
It was.
get that whole 89. And, even with Fleer, Donruss, Tony Gwynn had 3 rookie cards, Ripken, Boggs, Sandberg. They had
And
multiple rookie
it
cards.
was that new upper deck, that
Yes,
beautiful
but
card
89 upper
stock, and
deck.
that
Yes.
picture. I mean, it was remarkable.
So Jeremy was saying after 89, he focuses more on the manufactured rarity, the numbered cards, parallels, and he's like, "What say you, Victor, rookie card
Mm-hmm.
specialist? That do I trigger you that anything after 89, the rookie card really doesn't matter?" And you
Mm-hmm.
know what? I love the rookie card. I think it's a foundational part of the hobby.
It is to an extent.
But he's kind of right. I mean, really, I want to say 90s, but like when you start hitting 2001, when they start putting the gold parallels and stuff like that, um, the manufacturer rarity does take precedent over the base rookie card. And so there is some factual I don't know, evidence to that. Because the kids like the
Well, the
tiger
rookie
stripes, the
cards are
taco
very
fractors.
overrated to a sense. So let me tell you how it was like back in the 60s and 70s when we had rookie cards, okay? I remember like in
Was the only
68.
one.
Yeah. I remember 1968, Nolan Ryan rookie, Johnny Bench rookies, right? You would get these rookie cards. You knew these guys were good, right? Even then, even in let's say 1970, you came across them. So I was 9. I came across these rookie cards. I didn't give a shit about them. They were throwaways. They were double prints, most of these rookie cards with the double people, benches. And then you get into the Thurman Munsons and then into 71. Every time you got the rookies, they were not the sought after cards. They were the throwaways. Okay. It was the card after that with like the Rose, for instance. 63 Rose became a thing in the 80s, which is his rookie card. It's kind of when you started to hear it in the early 80s, late 70s. But his real rookie card or his sought after card was the 64
Yeah.
because it was the card that, I mean, look at the card was his full
Beautiful.
face. It had the rookie cup,
The rookie
and that's
trophy, yeah.
you have it. And so here's when I started going back to collecting back in 2005, I didn't give it. Do you think I have a Rose rookie card? No, I don't give a shit. And the fact is there's like millions of forgeries that are in PSA containers of Rose rookie cards. PSA, SGC. Do you really think that those fuckers can tell the difference with all these minimum? You're seeing it now. What's really happening in this hobby?
It's a little over
They
the top, the
cannot tell
min
the
size.
difference.
Yeah.
Guys, they cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's not, no matter how hard they're trying. You have kids that are 20 years old that are working for these companies. I'm sure I couldn't tell the difference even. They certainly can't tell what's fake and what's not fake. That Rose card was faked back
The
in
thing
the
is, it's
70s.
like I know they have these young kids, and I can see the appeal of like if I owned a card shop, I would want to hire kids that weren't into collecting, kids who,
Yeah.
because then for nefarious reasons, I don't want them being collectors or investors or whatever. I just want them to be super analytical, just into the numbers. This is what the job is, and I
Mhm.
get that, but the knowledge that collectors have is accumulated over a lifetime of collecting. Like we could touch a card. Like the kids nowadays don't know what a vintage card feels like. They don't even know what new cards
And I'm
feel
trying
like.
to tell you, somebody who's like even collected his whole life and felt these cards, like even sometimes I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to know. You want to smell it, you want to look at it, but the fakes are so great out there. It's like a Rolex, you know? You see the
That
Rolexes these
Bolex,
days?
got that Bolex on
It's
there.
a Bolex. You know what I mean? Submariner. They're
Well,
fake.
with what you were talking about with them caring about rookie cards, that to me that timeline doesn't that
We never
coincide
cared.
with the mass proliferation of like price guys that would put RC
Yeah,
next to it? I mean,
yeah.
isn't that
It drove the hobby to the sense where like not me. And so I guess maybe I'm a unicorn who liked older cards or whatever, but I really never followed the masses in that sense or over the rookie card. I didn't give a shit. Oh, that's his rookie card. Like Nolan Ryan, I always loved Nolan Ryan. But his rookie card, that 68, was
Mhm.
everywhere. It was another triple print. It wasn't rare. I had 20 of them. And I didn't even open packs in 68. So
Yeah.
when I got, in other words, when I got a garbage bag full of cards and I'd get 67s and 68s, there was a shitload of Ryans and a
well
shitload of,
between PSA and SGC, they've graded 23,486.
that's
So
all? Or is that a lot?
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
that's a lot for
But
vintage cards.
but you
Yes.
say that's a lot, right? and yet you have 20,000 Lulus in
Yeah, the moderns
PSA
and
10.
insane.
PSA
Yeah.
10. Okay, so let's put that in perspective.
That's true. That is true.
So you've got 20,000 PSA 10 Lulus, and who knows how many other Lulus signed by his mom.
Well, now you're talking 60% of the cards submitted get a
And
10.
Lulu is not even fucking good. Let's see. I mean, okay, he's a good basketball player. But
Okay.
he's not Magic. He's not Bird.
No, not
He's
yet.
not Chamberlain. Not yet, but he's 7 years in, and he's got a
7
bad
years
calf
in,
every
but
fucking years.
5
He's got a
times
bad
first
calf.
NBA. All
He's got a
NBA first
bad-
5 years.
He's got a bad attitude and a bad calf every year.
No, I wouldn't say bad attitude, but
No.
he's injury prone. I mean, 5 years first All NBA. That's not nothing.
No, I
bro.
mean, look, the guy does amazing things. I'm a sports fan.
He's good enough for the league to rig it to get him on the marquee
Yeah.
franchise.
Rig is the word. They rigged that thing, bro. Number one
But
in Jersey
Anthony Davis ain't no joke, isn't he?
He sucks, bro.
Yeah, but he's only got a couple
He's
prime years left.
He's overrated.
He
ain't no
always
name.
hurt. He's been always hurt. And the only year he was healthy, he won a championship.
In the bubble. Asterisk.
Thank you. That bubble. The Dodgers won in the bubble.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Rays should have won that one.
Who did?
The Rays should have won. They took Blake Snell out too early.
The Rays should have won in the bubble.
Damn, Blake Snell, man. They took him out way too early. He was dealing.
He's
Rigged.
a 5-inning pitcher. Everybody knows it. The Dodgers this year are going to watch this. Watch what I'm telling you. They are going to pitch guys 3 innings and 4 innings all year. Like they're going to have like 8 starters, and if they're healthy, which you
Kershaw's
know
their number 6. Kershaw's their 6.
Well, Kershaw is going to be good again.
That's
Kershaw
crazy.
will get out average players.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. I just think it just baffles me that he's their number 6. That's what I'm saying.
Why don't you take?
Crazy.
But he's 40 or whatever he is.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Why don't you take Kershaw and just throw him against average teams, Rockies? I mean, no. You see his ERA against the Rockies is like a 1.3
at home, not in Colorado.
At home. But
Yeah.
so what I'm saying is, why not use those analytics for him? Why even try to pitch him against the Padres or against a good team? Just let him rest. Give him you know he's good for 100 innings, right? So why don't you just pitch him 100? The Dodgers know what they're doing. They've got 10 pitchers that they're going to turn into what a little league team is in the 1970s. They are going to turn into 2 and 3 inning guys. You know, one time through the lineup.
Yeah.
Blake
Well, that's
Snell.
that's how the origin of the opener started.
Yeah.
The Rays, they had they were dealing with a lot of injuries, and they're like super analytical with the whole team because they have to be. I mean, they don't spend in the American League when you're going against the Yankees, even the Orioles, the Blue Jays. Everyone has a bigger pocketbook than the Rays, and they are the ones that started doing all the shifting. Everyone copy that. Then they started doing the opener because they realized the third time through the lineup, their starters were getting hammered. So they'll bring in a middle reliever to open up the first,
no doubt,
second inning, and then they put the starter in, and then he'll go 6-7.
It ruins the game to a sense, the fabric of the game. But
Yeah.
they are also working with the parameters of what they have. I mean,
It's a
that's
loophole.
what they can do. Yeah. And they're successful. And you cannot argue with the Rays and the talent that they've put out and the players that the game that they're playing.
Yeah. I mean, besides last year, I mean, the last 5 years, they've won 90 games. People don't talk about how difficult that is, especially in the American League East. Last year, dealing with the whole Wander situation and injuries, it was just too much for them to.
And what about the Dodgers with their pitching? You know damn well they don't have enough pitching, even though you think they have 9 starters.
They do have 9 starters.
I mean, look, Ohtani is probably going to be their closer, and that's the way my feeling.
That's the way it should be. I think it
should be. He should
save
pitch
his
2
arm.
days a week, 2 days a week for an inning because he proved he could do that in the baseball classic. So why would you give him? We don't need 3 innings out of him. You know who I need 3 innings out of? Is fucking Tyler Glassarm. That guy.
Glass arm, glass
When's
man.
he
You ever
ever
seen that?
thrown right? I mean,
I'm
when's he
with
ever
you.
thrown 100 innings?
He was a Ray.
I don't even need to see him pitch, to be honest, till
That's why they got
July.
rid of him. He was always breaking
But the
down. Bro.
Dodgers signed him for a monster contract. And he pitched 140 innings last year, which was a miracle or something before the All-Star break. So or maybe 120, I don't really know. But the fact is you need to save his arm. Don't pitch him in the 5th inning. Give me 3 innings. And then get me to Teriyaki Sasaki or
Man,
whatever the guy's name
I can't wait till Paskins is a Yankee.
Me neither. I can't wait till
That's
he's a
just it.
Dodger.
Isn't the fact that the lack of revenue sharing in major leagues is going to make it always be a second class?
It's
They
not,
do revenue
popularity.
share.
John. You're correct.
Share.
It's not they revenue share. The Pirates have the money. The
They
owners
do.
keep it. They don't distribute.
Right.
The whole point of the revenue sharing is so everyone's on some kind of better playing field. But it's up to the owners. If they don't want to use that money to sign players,
The problem is the Dodgers in their marketplace are worth $10 billion. The Pirates are only worth $1 billion. So the Dodgers have $1 billion in deferred money. It's nothing to them. The Pirates can't put $1 billion into a deferred money; it'll bankrupt them.
well, let's talk about how the Dodgers sign everybody with IOUs.
It is hard.
They don't keep it's not completely equal. I mean, I thought like the Yankees had their own cable network and the Dodgers had their own cable thing,
but every team that tries the cable thing to get these big signatures or these big packages, like
it's
the
just
Padres,
greed. The owners keep the money,
but they go bankrupt. Like the Padres, they lost their deal because they took their team off the television and they put them in this pay-per-view shit that people aren't fucking paying for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so now they're almost like their award of Major League Baseball now. They screwed themselves. Baseball has screwed themselves by devaluing their product by trying to take all the money instead of working the game for the people and for the children and for the kids. It's all about money. Much like
why is it the same like 8 to 10 teams that have the massive payrolls?
I can break it to you. I can break it to you real quick. It all depends on the head of the snake. The Steinbrenners want to win. They will spend their money. Artie Moreno is not for a lack of trying. He just has bad contracts. He spends money. He had Trout. He had Shohei. He had Rent. He wants to spend money. Look at the Mets. The Mets prior to I forgot the name of the owner. Prior to him, they didn't spend money. This guy's like, I'm spending money. And look what he did. These teams have the money, but do the owners want to spend it? The Pirates don't want to spend it.
Everyone else is Donald Sterling just sucking it dry.
Hey, we all know what Donald Sterling was about. I've met the guy many a times, him and Elgin Baylor. And he never even let Elgin Baylor run the team, you know?
Yeah.
He was just like a figurehead back in the day. And I mean, you're right.
Oh, Vogelback, yeah. Then they cut Daniel Vogelback because he was about to hit an incentive. And then they just signed him this year to be an assistant hitting coach. Like, who had that on their bingo card? Like, they did him so dirty. He was going to hit.
And yet he goes back to him because he's got nowhere else to go. I mean, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the way that the owners do it and the way the game is. And that's why it's a dirty game. And like I'm learning that from Tim Larry too. Like he said, like even when he got traded to the Reds, after he won that World Series championship, he wanted to be a Dodger for life. He grew up a Dodger fan. He was in a Santa Monica High, product, and they traded him away, like it was nothing for Cal Daniels and some other bum. And that's the other funny thing is Pete Rose. Let's talk about him. So the funny thing is the same guy who introduced me to Tim Leary, he was a president of a golf club out here in Pasadena. And one day out there is golfing is Pete Rose. So he goes out and meets Pete Rose, takes pictures with Pete Rose, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he knows Tim Leary because in 1989, who was the manager of the Reds? Pete Rose. And he knows Tim. So Pete Rose comes to our poker game, and I mean, these are.
My bad, Ruben.
I mean, it's just quite a funny.
I'm confusing my fat baseball players. He said it was Rowdy that got cut.
Rowdy Tellers? Oh, Rowdy. But I mean, the thing is yeah, they do screw these guys, and it's just. But Tim was hurt when he got traded. He got traded because he was a free agent, you know, and he or a free agent to be, and then he signed a 5-year deal, 5 years, $5 million with the Yankees. Do you remember that? You might remember that, Lou. Tim, I mean, you were.
I was showing people.
So no, I'm saying that Tim Leary signed a $5 million 5-year deal with the Yankees in 1990.
I don't remember that one.
Well, he lost 19 fucking games one year with a 5. He was just getting hammered with the Yankees. That was when Mattingly was there, and they sucked. But Showalter benched him the last 5 starts because he didn't want him to lose 20 games. He had lost 19 games with the Yankees. Now they have 4 more years. And he thought, you know, he saved his money, but this was $5 million for 5 years. It's a lot of money, even now, right? Would you like to be signed for 5? But now the guys are making $300 million for 5 years, or what? I don't know, ridiculous money. And he was a UCLA economics major. You know, he invested his money well here and there. But then, you know what? He got divorced.
Yeah. Cheaper to keep her, bro.
And then he kept his house. He made her a deal. He got her a little deal, which was part of his pension. He built up a nice MLB pension, but he gave it all to her. It's pretty sad, all in all. I mean, it's a sad story, but you know. But he ended up with a place in Palisades. It's no longer there, but he lost it way before then to some professional volleyball player.
Hey, my son right now is looking at me. He went out with his buddies and just got back. He's like, "You're still on the live stream?"
My wife is knocking on the door.
It's 12:15 right now.
I'm telling her,
east.
Get out. We got to end this. But hey, guys, because we've lost so many people. Nobody's going to ever watch this whole thing ever again.
What are you talking about?
But we had fun.
Yeah, that's the only live stream that goes longer than this is because I'm Carlos. So,
and who watches that crap with his fucking hockey talk? I mean, really, literally, that guy. Nobody's watching that shit.
I don't think so, Ruben. I tell him wrap it up. He's like, "You're gonna be a grandpa." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, guys. I mean, but I'm just talking. I love you guys, and John, thanks for coming back on and giving us an extra hour tonight.
Yeah, I think Pepino might have some juice on his phone. I'm going to text him. I'm like, "You never came back." I thought he was going to try to charge it for 10 minutes and come back. That cat went straight to sleep.
You know damn well once his phone is out, he's done. He doesn't text. He's a man of very few words. That chicken.
Oh yeah, he wasn't going to come back.
You know, but I really had a great time having him over here and having him. I mean, you know, no, I haven't been through my own collection like that. I only have 1,500 cards, but you know, it takes a long time to go through all that shit.
I'm sure your 1,500 cards though are museum quality.
Not really. A lot of them are low.
Whatever, bro.
Bro. Most of them are low IPL.
All right, give me all your low appeal cards. I need the homeboy discount.
Here's a low IPL. The last card at 4:00 in the morning on the West Coast. It's a Mangini special.
Oh yeah, and white, baby.
White letter, but look, it's almost centered. It wants to be.
It wants to be.
It wants to be because you know how hard these are to be.
69 was notorious, bro. A lot of diamond cuts.
My regular 69. My regular
top to bottom, but a lot of top to bottoms. Those 69 top to bottom was hard.
Come on, if Dylan was on here, he'd tell you that's not really centered, right?
Well, no, it's not. I mean, but a 65, 35 Mantle and 69, especially in a white letter, that's centered. You know, with some nice corner. And to me, it almost has eye appeal. It almost has.
I love 69. I do love 69. I mean 69 tops. I love 69.
Me too. I used to like it, but now I don't.
Yeah. There's
I don't need this set.
all right. I'll go get off before I get myself in trouble.
All
You're in
right.
trouble already.
There's 20
End it,
people
John.
here still.
That's all?
You know, how many stayed for all 3 hours and 18 minutes? So,
Guys, I need to send them all. John, I need their numbers.
to
I'm
go.
going to send them all gifts.
all right. Thanks,
You
everybody.
need to cut
for
me in on those
watching.
on all those ads.
You'll
Check
get
us out
nothing
next
and like it.
time. Here we go.
Welcome to For Collectors.